Hello. Welcome to She Speaks Bravo with Emily Hanks. Today is the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
God.
What
a week.
With me, as always, recapping this show is my girl, Piaget. Hey.
Hey, do you like my voice?
I do. The other day it was even better. Pia and I were voice messaging back and forth, and her voice was like cracking. You know that sick. Remember on Friends when Phoebe had a sick voice?
Yeah.
And she like wanted to keep it because it was like I think it like booked her jobs or something.
Yeah. No. When I sent you the voice notes, that was like the beginning, like when I like the first day. Then it just got painful to listen to. Sean said it was like it just sounds like it hurts. Like yesterday, I could barely talk. Like I was like, maybe I shouldn't speak, but I had to because I was like working.
Yeah, no. Yesterday when you left me a voice memo, I'm like, this is different because it was like going like there was actually like no sound coming out.
It was. I felt like Ariel when Ursula took her voice. That's what it felt like. And I was
like, so we have a lot to discuss. But before we get into Bravo stuff, I want to do a little true crime rec because I found a podcast because it's so hard to find a podcast that A, I haven't already listened to.
Yeah.
And B, that keeps my attention. It is called, and I apologize to anyone listening or watching that is like so excited right now. And then when I say it, they're going to be like, damn it, I've already listened to that.
That's like how you are every time I recommend something to you.
Every time.
I'm sorry.
So it's called The Real Killer. It was released in December of 2021. So it's relatively new. It is 11 episodes. I am giving you a warning though. It is extremely graphic and dark. Shit. And that's coming from me. I didn't realize I liked really dark true crime until I found out that my aunt liked true crime podcasts. So we were sharing podcasts back and forth like, oh, if you like podcasts, here's this one. And she would be sending me like kind of more like political true crime, like the road to 9/11 and like stuff like that. And I would be
conspiracy theories more. So
yeah. And I'd be or like, political, like, diving into investigations and stuff like that. And I would be sending her the Long Island serial killer. And just like really, and so finally one time she's like, you like the dark stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, noted. I'm glad I just know what category it falls into now. And so yeah, so but
you like the dark stuff.
Even for me, this was like there's a couple details in this that still haunt me because they gave me visuals that I can't get out of my head, and they're a lot. So that's coming from me. You've been warned. But it took me a couple episodes to get into it, but by like episode 5 I was like, fuck yes. Like it's told really well. It's laid out really well. Highly recommend. And speaking of true crime, Pia already knows this story because I voice memoed her. I was so proud of myself. Okay, so this is just a true life story where true crime watchers can be proud that all this binging of true crime comes in handy in real life.
Oh, you're going to tell a story.
Okay, so my sister and brother-in-law went out of town for the 4th of July, and my sister runs a pet sitting company. And so she sent me a text like, hey, one of my sitters is going to just stop by and leave the keys to one of the houses for a visit. She's going to leave it in the mailbox. So I was like, cool. Hours go by. I completely forgot that text even happened. So I'm in our garage where our washer and dryer is, doing my laundry. And I hear someone seemingly like right around the corner from, like, I don't have visual, but I'm now convinced there is a perpetrator right around the corner of the garage. And I'm like, this is it. I am trapped in the garage. There is no exit strategy, but I almost freeze, but I went, no, look for a weapon. And I see to my right, I see golf clubs, but I in my head, I go, I don't want them to know I have this weapon because then they can brace for the attack. And so I go, in my head, I'm like, I'm going to slowly grab this golf club so that when they come near me, I can hit them and start screaming out, someone call 911. A man about 5'10" wearing a black shirt is attacking me. Then the sitter just walked down the driveway and I was like, oh, okay, it was just the sitter. All of that.
My favorite is you just like calling out anything you see, which is smart. Because that's like in Taken when he's like, what do you see? And she's just like calling out random shit. I was like, you need that information.
Because, you scream, people just screaming. No one knows what to do. Call 911 is what you should scream. Someone call 911. I'm being attacked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be specific. But it was just the sitter.
I also heard that you should, in those situations, maybe say fire.
Oh, because people aren't afraid of that?
Well, because people are selfish and they will be afraid that will affect them. Or like, how like there's like the bystander effect or whatever, where people are like, oh, someone else will call 911. You know what I mean? But if you like yell fire, everyone's gonna start coming out. Like,
oh, that's better.
Like making sure everything is good. Cause like, they're like, where the fuck is this fire at? Like,
oh, okay. Next time I will yell fire. That's a good tip. I'm glad we talked about this.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was your true crime update.
There is a true crime doc that I haven't finished yet.
Hulu?
No, it's Netflix.
Oh. Okay, tell me.
I can't. I was just like, that was what I was trying to like fucking Google because I'm so bad at names. It's something about a photo. It's like something in the photo. It's new.
It's new?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. And there's a new Hulu one. Don't know what the name of it is, but it's something about like a cover up of like a bunch of Boy Scouts that were molested. And they just,
I told you about that one.
You did?
Oh, wait, no.
Wait,
what? Is it the one where the guy was like, they were in the cult?
No. This one I think just came out because I have been, I haven't really gone on to Hulu much. I just go on to Hulu to see if there's a new crime doc. And then I'm like, no. So I skip out.
Oh, yeah. And you're right. Anyway, because the one I was thinking of was on HBO and you said you had already seen it. So
yeah, no, this is relatively new and it's not a series. Unfortunately, I love a series. It's just a one part. It's just one, like an hour and 50 minutes, maybe an hour and 50 minutes.
Okay. Cause like, I'm okay if it's like one thing, if it's like a really detailed
Me too.
account.
And I just started it. And then I was like, wait, no, I want to save it. Cause I'm an at-home workout person. So I like to wait and save my really fun viewing for when I'm working out. Cause it's like, it distracts me. So I'm saving it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, there you go. There's true crime. Now let's talk about the absolutely abhorrent behavior of these housewives. We're not even going to talk about the episode yet because literally like last week's episode aired, Pia and I recorded, and then a million horrible things happened since that we need to get into.
It's so funny that was just last week. I feel like that was a million years ago because I barely even remember what that drama was because this one has topped it by far. So Ebony. So, okay. Speaking about Lisa Rinna, because, Lisa Rinna last we spoke here in this space, Lisa Rinna went to her stories and was like, listen, just because we're fighting with Garcelle doesn't mean we're racist, and was extremely insensitive and just tone deaf. Mm-hmm. So Ebony was getting tagged, Ebony Williams, formerly of Real Housewives of New York. She was getting tagged in a bunch of things, like wanting her to address it. Yeah. So she went live and addressed it. And a few things, stuck out. One of which was, and this is something I, as a white woman, tried to live by, which is if someone says you are being racist, if someone says that something you're saying or doing is being racist, the first thing you should do is maybe pause and assess if it's possible. Because it's just impossible for a white person to know all of the things. Yeah. We just will never get it. And so by Rinna immediately going to the place of, oh, just because we're fighting with Garcelle means we're racist, that in and of itself is racist because you're not listening to the comments. First of all,
You commented on Diana's Dear Garcelle post saying, if you've got the receipts, show them. The comments below Rinna's comment were, this is not a receipt. This is actually a white savior complex. This is actually a very problematic narrative that she's trying to say that because she did this, she can't possibly be racist. And instead of Rinna listening to any of it, she goes on the defense. And it's a very Karen move, right? So Ebony posts this video with some great things to say. Rinna comments, thank you, Ebony. This is so needed. If she had written, I needed to hear this. I appreciate this. Totally different. She also took to her fucking stories, reposted it. Thank you, Ebony Williams. You know that meme, you know, when Pelosi did that clap?
Yeah.
It has that energy.
Yeah.
Lisa Rinna.
Yeah. It doesn't feel sincere, or it like, I feel like it's still like she's not quite getting it. It's like, see, like it's still like her like saying like, see, like she at least explained how to like no one needs to explain this to you. She took some time out of her day to do it for you out of the goodness of her heart. But she did not owe you that. And that's the problem. She thinks that she's owed that. Like, well, exactly. See, if you had just, she's still like someone's fault. Like if I had just known that, then I wouldn't have said that.
It's like,
and it's absurd.
Ebony did not need to do that, but she did that. And you really still didn't understand just how inappropriate it is that you aren't more appreciative.
Yeah. It's like, like you're
like wow,
it
Ebony.
Doesn't feel like you really absorbed it.
No,
it doesn't feel that way. You know, and she has many platforms to really delve into if it did make her feel a certain way and she just didn't write it correctly. Sorry, let me yell at my dog really quick.
Go ahead. While she's doing that, Rinna then posted, and she's been posting similar things like this. She posted this, it was a content creator who is a Black woman, and the post was something saying, like, don't engage, don't be provoked, do you understand the assignment? And then she commented, I'm just catching everyone up on some other things while you were doing that.
Yes.
I'm talking about how she was constantly posting things like don't be provoked, don't engage, don't, like, she was acting like she was the one, like, by posting these things. First of all, it really pissed me off that she used a Black female.
Oh, I know.
Do it. And so do you understand the assignment? Yes, I do. There was also another thing that was like, some quote about not getting provoked or something. By posting that, you are provoking, actually. You're kind of like, we want you to say something about this. We want you just to pause and say something, but you won't say something. And so you're like, I'm not going to engage. I'm the victim here. I'm getting down to their level and I'm going to stay above it. That's the vibe. I hate her.
It's like becoming so like, I don't even know the words to use. Like, I can't, like, they really, at first I just thought they were just like, just some dumb girls that like dumb petty things that like they don't realize that their problems are not that big of a deal, like with Puppygate, with like the Denise thing and all that stuff. And it's tolerable to a degree. It's starting to get like, oh God, you guys are just so far removed from reality that you really like, it's the ignorance is just, it's just so like hard to grasp. It really is. And I can't watch it any longer. It's getting Roni. It's starting to get Roni.
We are getting Roni. We are venturing into Roni territory.
And I'm so happy. I know we're going to get into it, but that we have another ally, well, not an ally, another person that understands Garcelle on the show now.
Oh my God.
With Sheree being on there now. And because it is powerful when it's just so overwhelming, no matter how well as Ebony is so articulate, it's just overwhelming when you are the minority in the group with the majority so like-minded. It's hard, and I think both Ebony and Garcelle did it to the best of their ability, and they did a great job. And I'm just happy that Garcelle is going to have the support moving forward through the season.
I will say that it was nice last season when in that conversation, when Kathy was like, Michael Jackson told me I don't see color. And Garcelle was like, well, that's not going to work. And Crystal was able to back up Garcelle in that scene. And I was like, imagine Crystal wasn't there.
Exactly. And I think that's the only saving grace for like the minorities on the show.
Yeah.
For Beverly Hills, at least, because Garcelle and Crystal both had each other. Well, I guess Garcelle, she has Crystal, but Garcelle didn't.
Yeah. Garcelle came on at first with nobody.
Yeah. But she was, because they were so distracted with the Denise thing, she didn't have to do as much of what she's starting to have to do now. True. Yeah,
the Denise,
because they were so distracted with Denise.
God, that was so bad. Oh my God, I can't even go back there because like that's a whole other realm of evil that they did. Like they've just like, like let me say something about me, and I think I've said it before. It takes me too long, but like because I'm very much like I'll give a lot of chances and I leave so much room. I think by now we've seen that I am. Like I'm pretty open to other suggestions and I'll be like, that's a good point. Oh, well, that's a good point. Oh, well, that's a good point. Like I can easily like, but when I'm done, I am done. This goes for my relationships. This goes for all the toxic exes I have. And I am done with Lisa Rinna and with Kyle. Erika's been done, but I'm like, I feel it so deep inside of me that I'm done. And I really do mean this. If they don't get rid of Rinna next season, I will not watch the show. The only reason I am not boycotting this season is because it hurts Garcelle. Yeah. And I will not hurt Garcelle or Sheree. I will not hurt them.
Yeah.
But if they don't look at all of this and realize like, look at the shift. We like Sheree and Garcelle, they are the moment. Build it around that. Rinna is tired. We're tired. We're over it. We're done. I don't need to see another season of this.
Yeah, they really do need to reevaluate the casting for so many reasons, that being one of the main reasons. And I am wholeheartedly agreeing with you. Lisa needs to be done. She needed to be done a while ago. She kind of slipped through last year because she was quiet. But quietish, like she was trying a new thing.
She tried to be, but then she got busted at the reunion with Garcelle being like, I heard you didn't want me to bring up race on the show.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And we were like, what?
She could, if you notice lately with Rinna, after the Denise season, she is sort of okay on the show, because really what we're angry about is a lot of the stuff that's happening outside of the show.
Exactly.
Or things that we're not seeing on air, right? So it's so interesting that she's like somehow kind of keeping it together during filming somewhat, but she cannot help herself. I think that because she sees how tame she is making herself on camera, she feels like she starts getting panicky, and she's like, well, then I need to start saying some shit. And it's like,
this has been her tactic now for years too.
Yeah.
And I remember, I want to say it was this season with, right before they did the Denise takedown, right before that season.
That was puppy. So the
LVP
takedown.
LVP takedown. The reunion was all one of Rinna's segments was about her behavior on social media. Mm-hmm. And I, at that point, wasn't really paying attention to social media. And that made me shift focus to see what she was doing on social media. Cause I was like, wait, what am I missing? So she has been using this tactic for a minute to stay trending. So she's not having to work too hard while they're filming. Then she goes on social media and gets negative attention, but regardless attention, a la Erika Jane. And it's now, how many seasons ago was that now? 5?
Yeah, like 3 or 4.
So Denise was 2 seasons ago, right?
Yeah, Denise was 2. Yes, it was 2 seasons ago.
So that was 3. So now this will be the year 4 of her doing this again. We're done. I'm done. I'm done. Like once that shuts off in me, I am done.
Yeah, it's just, and then it's like, and this is how I kind of felt when the whole, her mom unfortunately passing happened.
Oh,
prior to the season, like when she first posted it, and then she posted what I felt was super inappropriate. Her saying like it felt like she was using her mother's death to excuse anything that she's going to be saying moving forward. And like essentially what she said. And she's like, in the name of Lois, if you want to be more clear. And I'm like, I don't know about that. And then, we get to see the episode, and I did see how that affected her. So I softened to that and was like, maybe that was just a lapse in judgment. And then we bring it back when all of this happens online again. And she immediately goes to the thing that would like make people, empathize or sympathize for her. And it's like, grief makes you do crazy things. Like,
let me actually read it. Let me read it.
Because go for it.
This was despicable. I have had a really tough time of it. I think you've seen how hard this has hit me. I'm sorry if I've raged on you, about you. It really has nothing to do with any of you. I never thought I would feel this way. I really thought grief would be about sadness and pain, but it's so much more. I'm really struggling. I just never thought it would feel like this, but here it is. Losing my mom has really hit me hard. This is the most horribly written caption. Thank you for your patience with me. I know it's not easy to have warm fuzzies for me right now, but I'll get through this and hopefully come out the other side stronger and better. Thank you for your support and your love. I so appreciate it. And then her emojis, again, like the prayer, a heart, doves. All right. So, know what? We're done. We're done with Rinna. How about that?
Yeah. Like you can't use your dear, sweet, adorable, amazing, courageous mother.
Yep.
As a blanket for what you did.
Like, what's your excuse before your mom died?
But that, and the fact of the matter is, no one was talking to her. She inserted herself in all of that.
Yep.
No one mentioned her. No one talked about her. No one hinted at her. She went looking for that. Okay. Why? That is what the post needed to be like. Why did I feel like I needed to insert myself in something that had nothing to do with me? Why did I feel like I needed to say racially insensitive things and poke fun at the fans? Why? Like, why do I like these are the questions she needed to pose and stop trying to make us feel bad for being upset by what you say.
Exactly.
By bringing up the fact that your mother passed. We know your mother passed, and we're sad for you and your grief and for your family, but that does not give you the right to pass the excuse to do what you're doing. Okay?
We're done. We're done. She's done. Moving on to Kyle. She speaks bravo. Moving on to Kyle now, because I have a little gripe to pick with Bravo. They released too much footage of the episode the week prior.
It confuses me sometimes.
I feel like I got like 80% of the episode. So when I watched this episode, I was like, I mean, I know there were some scenes I didn't see, but I was still like, I know that it's nice to get it, but I'm like, can you not show us?
We pretty much got the meat, like if we were doing a structure of like the cinematic structure, they gave away the climax.
Yes. Yeah.
So all of the, exposition and then like the decline, like it was all like, we didn't actually need it because you took the thing that we wanted. We didn't earn it.
I kind of wish, because it wasn't
it.
to be continued, I kind of wish they had just not given us a preview so that we could have watched it fresh.
Yeah. And then I was like, I don't know. I mean, I also know that because I'm just like constantly in search of like more information and more information. So like when I watched those clips so many times that I was like, was that in last week's episode?
I had so many people asking me that too. They're like, I don't remember this happening. I'm like,
even the preview for next week, I was just talking.
It's already out.
Yeah, I was talking to my friends, and it's like it's Erika doing the apology or whatever. And for some reason, I was like, did that happen already?
Yeah, but that's why the pacing of these episodes is really weird.
I was like, I literally started rewinding. I was like, did I fucking miss it? How did I miss it?
Like, if you want us to see that in this episode, then just show it in that episode, because when you release it literally right after the episode airs, it feels like you might as well just put it in that episode.
Yeah, it's yeah, I agree. Like, as much as like you always want to see, like, sneak peeks are supposed to be so sneaky that you're just like, yeah. I need that. Like, you didn't give us the goods yet. Like,
no, they gave us everything. And then they're like, and here's another scene from in the middle of the episode.
I know. I like literally watched the whole set. I was so I'm sorry. I was so confused. I was like, remember I voice memoed you.
You're like, were those deleted scenes? I'm like, oh my God, can you imagine if those were deleted? Those would be the most insane deleted scenes.
I know. That's because I think I said that because I was just so baffled that could be
they
preview.
Gave us all of that.
I was like, that's the whole fucking scene.
And it's like
the scene.
It's like they wanted to, it's designed to get us going on social media. I get it. It's designed to get us talking on social media. But then they immediately released the first 7 minutes of next week's. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then Erika apologizes, sort of. We'll get to that.
They could have like edited Erika being extremely inappropriate with Garcelle's son. Then like a look from Garcelle, and then that'll be the sneak peek. So like we know Garcelle is upset about something, but we don't know to what extent. And then the shock factor of what happened.
Yes.
Like, I mean, it was still shocking, but you know what I mean? Like, they needed like just a little bit of what's going to happen. Not fully. Agree. And then a look to know Garcelle is not okay with it. And then that's it.
From a content creator standpoint too, I was like, I like hyped myself up already and already did this. So like when it came
we've been hype all week. So it's kind of like we really didn't get any other really juicy bits enough. Like what the Kyle and
Sutton
like that was
apology scene. That was okay.
It was
that they could have given us. They could have given that as a preview.
I guess they could have edited in a certain way, because I was like, well, we wouldn't have any context of what she's talking about because we hadn't seen it yet.
True.
But I mean, they're the editors. Like, what are they're the editors? Figure it out.
Okay. We have notes, but it's up to you guys at the end of the day. But anyway,
I can only lead a horse to water. I can't make them drink.
God, guys. We've written plenty of emails already. Will you open them? We should start writing them emails. No, they'll block me. Don't. Okay. So Kyle, all these clips come out, and we are furious. We're furious that Kyle is taking this stance of like, oh, wasn't it a quote for quote? I've watched it so many fucking times I can quote it exactly. You guys, this is Kyle. You guys, did you miss Erika telling Garcelle's 14-year-old to get the fuck out? I mean, it's not funny, but it's kind of funny. Okay, that is a quote for quote line. And then Dorit says, I know she's just like so loose and free, so I guess I give her a pass because, well, it's not my kid. Mauricio, I think it's great she did that. PK, she's entitled to a blowout. I mean, she's wanting to bang Garcelle's son and told the youngest one to fuck off. She's entitled to a blowout every once in a while. Okay, that's the scene. We're all appalled. We cannot believe it because we know. I mean, let's just look at little Jaggy. He's such a precious little boy now. Imagine when he's a teenager, like he's just going to continue to be. Imagine that little baby angel being told to get the fuck out.
Okay, if Erika had told Jagger's ass to get the fuck out, Jagger would have cried. But like, everybody,
even just imagine 14-year-old Jagger. You can imagine that.
He would have been like, he wouldn't even have known what to do with himself. And he would have, and let me tell you something. Dorit would not have let that go. Okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
No, she would not have, because no child should be spoken to like that. No, whether it be jokingly or not, no, boy, girl, I don't care. Should never be spoken to by a grown ass woman that can be his grandma. Yeah, Erika, I said it. You're getting there. Be his grandma.
Okay. So these all come out, and this is the statement. Kyle is in London doing some press, and she says this to metro.co. She says, I didn't even see Erika say that. I was told the next day. I was laughing at a friend's drunken behavior, as one does sometimes. Nothing to do with disrespecting anyone's child. I'm a mom of 4 daughters. I think if I had obviously seen it, because I only saw it actually last night on Instagram, that clip, I would have a different reaction.
Okay.
But when you go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, no. Go.
Oh, no, I'm going to read the whole fucking thing because I'm appalled. But when you hear a story like that, you're like, oh my God, I laugh sometimes at the wrong moments, but it wasn't about Garcelle and her son. It was about Erika. Okay. She says that she was laughing because she's not used to seeing that side of Erika, especially when you're not used to seeing that. You hear a story the next day. Oh my God, so-and-so was so drunk. They did this and that. And we laughed. It was like, to think that someone misinterpreted it as that, like that I didn't care and being flippant about someone's child. I would hope that after 12 years on this show, that people know me better. When asked if she managed to discuss the scenes with Garcelle, Kyle explained that she had not been able to just yet due to the time difference between London and LA. She just saw the clip for the first time too. Actually, no, because I'm in London. I don't know what time it is. It's 2 a.m. or something right now. I'm not even sure. But that's my plan in between interviews today, to send her a text. In the beginning, I found it to be nice and refreshing. The Housewives OG reflecting on Erika's change in behavior. It's so funny. When I watch the show, I'm like, so nice to see Erika finally loosening up. I didn't know she was literally speaking to herself on the boat. She seemed out of her mind. It was cutting back and forth to me saying, it's so nice to see her relax and loosened up. In the beginning, honestly, it was so refreshing to see her just not be so guarded and stiff. But then it got a little too far, obviously. Then it wasn't so appealing anymore.
Okay. There's so much to unpack there. So many things that I want to point out. Okay. One, I low-key, let me tell you 2 people that need to watch out right now. 2 people. Dorit and Erika, if you're listening, it's you 2. Kyle is not your friend. Okay. And that text is very revealing. I'll tell you why. In the top of it, Kyle is immediately throwing Dorit under the bus without saying that. She's saying, if I had seen it, I wouldn't have had that reaction. Right. So what she's saying is Dorit was there, did see it. She's the one who said it, who told me. She was in the room. She could have navigated the conversation to say it was much more serious than we're making it. She's almost putting the blame on her. She was like, I wasn't in the physical room. I just heard it secondhand. Who's secondhand? Dorit.
And that's what I'm wondering. Is she saying that Dorit, like, because Dorit was there, so who told you?
Whether Dorit was the first person to tell her or not, Dorit and her were the ones in that room with their husbands talking about it. And Dorit was absolutely there. So she is in some way kind of putting blame on Dorit indirectly. So let's talk about that. Dorit, she throwing you under that goddamn bus, doing your little promos for Thor, your friend stabbing you in the back. And then I say, Erika, watch out for Kyle, because the only reason that she's so obsessed with you this season is because she is enjoying watching you spiral. She's taking pleasure in watching your pain. You're self-medicating, you are drinking a lot. And that is when she finds you most appealing for her entertainment. That's telling. It's very telling that when everyone around you is laughing seemingly with you, but really at you and enjoying all of this because it somehow takes any like negative energy off of you. They're enjoying, she knows how we're all going to react to watching all of this. And she's just eating her popcorn and enjoying it. That's why she wants more of it. It's a distraction. She's not going to be in the negative light, but the show will still be entertaining. She's using you. And Kyle also doesn't really have a great gauge on dealing with people with addictions anyway.
Facts. Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it, because Kyle, she listens to viewer feedback and she knows that we want fun. We love the fun drunk scenes. And so Kyle's been overdoing the I'm all about fun thing for a couple seasons now. I'm like, I get it, Kyle. Okay, you like to like get wasted. It's kind of getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't like that before, but then it was like once LVP left, she was like, I need a thing. And so her thing has become being the way. I mean, I'm sure she's like that in real life because no one seems to be super like surprised by her behavior, but she's really amping it up on camera. So I feel like she thinks that Erika getting all wasted will be like it'll be fun for the audience, which it was when she was innocently wasted and not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
I take back everything I said about her being a fun drunk because she's an asshole. And
well, the thing is, listen, we don't like Erika. So like, if you want to go freaking drink yourself away because you are sad because you're losing all your money and not because of the victims, I don't give a shit. I'm not your fucking friend. Okay. Kyle's supposed to be your friend. Okay. So
yeah.
I do not have, by the way, this was not to say that I feel bad for Erika. I'm just saying that's just not your friend. That is not your friend.
So then Kyle takes to her stories later and she writes some bullshit about Sutton, but we'll get into that when we talk about the episode. But then when she addresses the clip of all of them laughing, she said, again, she's like, I had not seen it in person. But when I said it's not funny, but it's funny, I meant Erika being drunk was funny. But what she said to Jax was not. I hope you know me well enough by now to know I certainly do not condone speaking to children like that. This thing that she keeps saying, I hope you know me well enough by now, it's not hitting the way she thinks it's hitting. Because the problem is we do know you really well, Kyle.
Yeah.
Like we know you really well. We've seen you for years be an asshole. And so unfortunately, when you keep saying, I hope you know me well enough, we're like, no, yeah, we do. You need to leave that out of your statements because it's almost like reinforcing what we already know.
Yeah.
You're like reminding me who you are.
Like
and I'm like,
yeah, like I feel like every single person, when I like was like reading that, they're like in the comments were like, no, this is why we know this is exactly what you meant. And because we do know you.
Yeah, like stop reminding us to reflect on who you are.
I'm not even surprised.
Yeah.
Because I know you that well.
Yes. No, this tracks for us. Like this tracks. And then we are all parents and certainly wouldn't want anyone speaking to any of our children like that. Until Mexico, we had never seen Erika drink like that. So this was new behavior we were seeing. I think while focusing on that, the more important issue was being minimized. Anyway, I never post things like this, but I felt absolutely terrible watching these clips. So I wanted to share with you. Okay, look, fine. Like I said, I'm done with Kyle. I'm done with Rinna.
I am done with Mauricio.
We take back what we said.
I literally redaction, subtraction. Mauricio, you are dead to me, and I'm not watching this fucking Netflix show.
And I'm so glad I wasn't excited about their Netflix show anyway, but everyone else was. But now I'm excited that
I just like real estate, so I was hoping that it was going to really dive into that. I don't need it. I just stick with my $1 million listings, baby. Stay on Bravo.
Bye-bye.
But I do wanted to say quickly, I got a DM from somebody
Ooh.
who listens to your pod, who
Uh-oh.
listened to last week's episode, and
I'm scared.
it's not bad. It's not bad. Her name is it's Amberly, but like spelled AMB_RLY.
Okay.
And I'll read you what she sent. She said, "Hello. I listened to you on She Speaks Bravo. I wasn't fully on board with your pick for top housewife hubby. Always left like there was little shadiness. Felt like there was a little shadiness there. However, I'm hoping Greg has now secured your top spot after the last Beverly Hills episode." And also, see, she even thought it was an episode too. It's a clip. And I responded like, I was like, me and Emily immediately regretted that once we saw the clips, and we'll get into it.
We shall address.
We shall address. So I'm glad that we had a moment to say that. Greg had only one indiscretion when he was having his like nasty divorce with Nene the first time, when he was like kind of going rogue and going on the radio shows and talking crap about her. But Nene is kind of crazy too. So
Nene's a lot to deal with.
I can actually give that a pass. And you know what? Greg was like especially so gentle at the end. And he's no longer with us. So I would be happily giving him the title if that's okay with you.
Greg, we are now officially crowning you House King of all time.
Yes, House Hubby King.
There
Hubby.
we go. King Hubby. That's
King
not
Hubby.
the right time. House husband.
House husband.
The king of the house husband.
The king of the house husbands. Here. Thank you so much, Amberly.
Thank you so much. We could not regret it more. Could not regret her. We were like firm on it.
Okay, really quick. I don't know if we're just a jinx or something.
It happens all the time.
Because I think it was all in that episode too, that like there's a lot of things that just happened back to back. I think it was all in that one episode we did where we were like, Crystal never posts about her coconut water.
And then she posted.
All I've been seeing is her post about her damn coconut water.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I was like, and she doesn't even talk about it. Cut to me checking her stories. I'm like, oh wait, does she do this all the time?
Literally, I'm just seeing all this coconut. I don't know if maybe she was doing it. I just never saw it because I didn't know.
I'm also blocked by her, so I don't check her stuff all the time.
Yeah, nothing but coconut water. Mauricio comes out of the gate with the most damning thing I've ever heard on House Husbands. God.
Yeah. This happens to Ono Chelsea all the time. She's like,
what is happening?
She's like, Chelsea's like, as soon as I say I love a housewife, like she was like talking about Salt Lake City. She's like, Jenny is the future of the franchise. And then literally they recorded the episode, and while she was editing it, all that shit came out about Jenny. And she was like, well, okay.
So that happened.
Damn it. So yes, it's it's the curse of the world of podcasting and content creating. We're like, you want to know why I blame Bravo? Although not for the Mauricio thing. The Mauricio thing, someone commented something perfect. The money has really changed him, because he wasn't like this before.
Yeah.
He's gotten very, they're like billionaires practically. They're so loaded.
And it's so funny. Remember, we were also talking last week about how they had he's been pretty good at staying clean and not really in the drama and even with LVP and Brandy trying to bring up his alleged indiscretions. Now that he said this thing, everyone's upset with him. So now everyone's coming out of the woodwork. I saw this one video of people talking about oh, Kyle and him have an arrangement. This is all alleged. There's no hard evidence supporting this. Just want to put a disclaimer. So I'm not saying I believe this, but it's just so interesting now. When you start going messy, people, even whether it's true or not, that is when you're going to start getting your name dragged, and again, I'm not saying that's why I'm not even really going to go into detail. Cause like that's not verifiable at this moment. So not worth.
I wouldn't like actually, I'll save the rest of my analysis from because we haven't even talked about the episode yet. Pia and I knew. I'm sure we knew that we were.
This was going to be a week.
One.
I actually, and it's so funny because I thought last week was going to be a week with Diana, and I actually felt like once we got to, I was like, actually, it's like she's so dry that even when I thought I was going to have a lot to say, I really didn't.
Yeah.
This is the week.
This is the week. Okay, so right before we go into the full recap of the episode, I have to say something about how Erika has chosen not to say one word on social media about this. And let me put it this way. It was one thing when she was screwing over victims of plane crashes and, you know, explosions and all this shit, but we don't know them. We know Jax. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's personal.
It's very personal.
So the fact that she couldn't humble her we also know Oliver and we know Garcelle. So the fact that she couldn't humble her ass enough to at least just post something like, I overconsumed my liquor. I should never have been hitting on Oliver and calling his wife a baby mama. Very inappropriate.
We haven't even gotten into the episode. Oh, God.
Like I get that she was going to eventually, it's like, it's going to come out on the show. She'll say something to Garcelle on the show because I have never received more follower feedback about these clips than before. Like people were really triggered by this stuff. Like this was really hard. It was not just the way she treated Oliver and the way she treated Jax, but like the way they were all laughing about it afterwards. It was really difficult for people to watch. And so the fact that Erika just continues to be like, fuck you all. Oh, I don't give a shit. How many fucks do I give? Even in this scenario, and you're garbage beyond garbage.
I was going to wait to say this, but I think this is actually a better time to say it. Now that the episode has aired and the clip of her apologizing to Garcelle has aired, which I feel like we'll talk about that later. I don't want to go too far into the
since it's for next week anyway.
Yeah. Now she's starting to post about it, kind of, right?
Oh, she is?
A little, but like in passive aggressive way. So she posted her apology, like, and I felt like that was her saying,
she did?
She put her apology from the clip of the apology that she did to Garcelle. She did post that on her story.
I see.
Yeah. So it's almost, to me, she did that last night, like after the episode aired. To me, that was like her saying, like, mic drop, like, I was quiet this whole week because I knew I had already apologized to Garcelle. So there was no need for me to like say anything to you guys. Like,
yes.
she's like, it was like, it felt like an era of like, I don't owe you guys anything. I apologized to Garcelle. That's how I felt. And then if you go through her timeline, I don't know if it's still up, but there was a video of a Black content creator, praising her in the sense of like, how she was so excited to watch this episode because she loves Erika and she's an Erika stan and she happens to be a Black content creator. And I almost felt like she reposted it because she is Black and she wanted to be like, see, like not everyone agrees with like the narrative that like I had microaggression towards Oliver and Jax, and you know, it felt like a subtle way of saying like that is not how the whole community feels. Do you follow me when I say that? That's how I felt when I saw it. I was like, it just seems like I don't really see her reposting a lot of people, and it just seems so calculated. That happened to be
it's just like what Rinna does that when Rinna posts the Black content creators. It's like, I get what you're doing.
But Rinna's so much more obvious with it. And so like for me, I was like, did anybody catch that? Because that's how I felt. Like it wasn't so obvious, but like I was like, it just seems convenient that this week that like, you know, I don't know. Because like, but like it's like she has a lot of Erika, and there's a lot of Erika stans. So it's not like
of course
she has plenty of videos that she can repost. it's just interesting she chose that one.
Of course she did, because remember she went up to Lonnie Love and said, people who support me don't look like this. They look like you.
Yeah.
So she needs to remind everyone. But it's like you said, it's her. I've apologized to Garcelle, so I need to apologize to you bitches.
Yeah.
I already said my apologies. It's like, you didn't really though. You hadn't seen the footage, so you didn't know the extent of what you did. You apologized thinking that you were talking to them like adults, but you didn't really know what you did. Now you've seen it, and it would be nice if you could at least realize that the community you've offended deserves it.
Yeah, like I think it deserves more. We deserve more of an open letter apology than just reposting a clip of you apologizing to Garcelle, like, and that's like good enough.
And a clip
No,
again
it's not.
of you not knowing exactly what you did because you were basically blacked out.
Yeah.
So, and of course, nothing from Dorit.
Oh, Dorit is like, listen, honey, if she is like, I am just trying to wait until the Kathy bits get back, and that's when I'm gonna start posting again, because, or like talk. Well, she's posting her Thor stuff with Kyle, which I think I sent you that.
I didn't get a chance to watch it, but you said something. Let me just tell everybody what this text said.
Okay.
Sophia sends me this text, and this is, I'm going to call it the caption, but she sent with it. Dorit's acting is better than Kyle's.
It was.
I haven't checked, but I'm not surprised, because when Kyle does promotional stuff, it's always so pushed and cringy.
It was very pushed. That is the perfect word. It was very pushed.
Yeah.
And I felt like Dorit had more fun moments. I was like, because Dorit's, and I think it's because Dorit's not an actor.
So she had fun.
She was just having fun and happy to be there. Like, she was just having a good time. Like,
I know how to have fun. Kyle's like, this is my profession.
Yeah, she was like,
a kid.
She was like, I need a reaction here. Like Dorit's like it's just like, she's just like, I'm here. I am here. I had way more fun watching her than Kyle.
Dorit's not going to get off the hook for me. I completely forgot about Dorit. Literally, like, I posted
she's not
about how
she's not.
Go ahead.
She's not off the. No, she's not off the hook. But when we get into the episode, remind me. Remind me.
Say
that.
I posted about how Erika hadn't said anything, and I was like, wow. I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy. And then someone commented, what about Dorit? And I literally was like, oh yeah, what the fuck? So then I was about to make a post about like, what about Dorit? And then I realized, wait, Dorit's literally like hoping no one will notice her. There she's like, hello. And then so I used the bridesmaid scene of her like, I'm Mrs. Iglesias, where she's like trying to sneak into first class. And that is Dorit right now. She's like,
it was perfect.
Is no one gonna say anything about me? Okay, cool. We're all mad at Kyle. I love it. We're all mad at Kyle. Yeah, Kyle, she fucked up.
Like, honestly, that when I saw your clip, first of all, Bridesmaids is one of it is my favorite comedy. And I, on a regular, do that little meme, like, it's not me, it's Mrs. Iglesias. Like, and it was the perfect place to put that. It was so perfectly executed. It's so true, because I'm so like, immediately when there's any drama on the Housewives, like, get my phone out. And I am immediately like looking up everything, like who's commenting on who, like, oh, they're not like liking that person's thing. And I kept like looking at every single person's thing, and like, especially the people who were directly involved. And I was like, yeah, they're not saying anything. I was like, she is so hoping. And she's like, what I was thinking, you illustrated. I was like, that is what I was thinking. I was literally thinking that. I was like, that is exactly how I felt. I was like, she's just like gliding. So she's like, she really is hoping no one. All right. I'm not mad at that, like, in the sense of like self-preservation.
Yeah.
Because I don't know like what she could say. And that's why I'm like, also, Dorit, Kyle, I'm not your friend. Because her first statement was like a little bit of like, I wasn't there. So I would never react to something like that if I was there. That's what she said.
She's and okay. Well, here we'll get into
And I
it
feel like
because,
Dorit
by
so
the way,
oblivious.
Kyle was actually like right in the vicinity of it happening. A bunch of content creators like pulled it. Like Kyle is actually right next to Garcelle as they're leaving, and like Garcelle just like walks past Kyle and walks right back in. Kyle's right there, but Kyle is blacked out drunk too.
Yeah. I mean, she wasn't present. I don't feel like she was actually like listening.
She
Kyle
was
was
like,
probably trying to. She was probably trying to figure out if she can fit in another split before cameras went down. Camera down.
I cannot stand her. Again, done with Kyle. Done with Rinna. Done.
And Dorit, you're on notice.
Dorit, you're on notice. We'll see how you play this.
Yeah, like you are on thin ice with me. PK is about to get thrown in the goddamn river.
Mauricio.
And you know PK, and you know she's gonna be like at the reunion. Well, PK, PK, it's British humor. So he didn't even know what we were talking about, and
Kyle's gonna claim Mauricio didn't either.
Oh,
but we'll get into it. We still have okay. But before we do, FYI, guys, I do have a fancy new computer on its way, but I can't do any fun video editing. But I still want Pia and I to use our diamonds for our intro. So Pia, let's do it.
Okay, hold on.
Next time, I promise I'll be able to put some fun video. Here, you ready? These are our diamonds. Diamonds on. Ooh, look at that. They look really. Ooh.
Do you see the girth on this?
Look at that. I know these are like the size. Look at that.
These are the actual earrings that Erika has to get back. We each have one. We have confiscated them and they are on the way.
Yes, these are ours.
No, they're not. We're giving it back.
Oh yeah. We stole them. We stole them and we are returning them to the rightful place.
Yes.
Okay, this episode is titled Calamity Jane. Whatever. It starts off with Erika like wasted on Dorit. One of my biggest pet peeves are the drunks that don't stop hanging on you. I really don't. I'm like, okay, it's only fun for you. And she's like, bartender, get another drink. And Dorit's like, uh-oh, this is on camera. Okay, so now we're at Diana and Sutton and Kyle. And Sutton is like, look, I have so much sympathy for you. I've lost 2 babies. And here goes Kyle. Here's what I thought was going to happen. Okay. Here's what I thought was going to happen. Ready?
Yeah.
She's going to go, wait, you lost 2 babies? I didn't know that. That's not what happened though, is it?
No, of course not.
What happened, Pia? What did Kyle say to Sutton?
She said, wait, you didn't tell us that. Like, she said something like, you didn't tell us that. Like that didn't like happen. She didn't say that didn't happen, but she said,
I'm sorry. This sounds like bullshit.
That is what she said. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Like I'm bad at the direct codes. Oh my God. She said it's bullshit.
It sounds like bullshit.
She did say that. Oh my, oh my God. She so said that.
My jaw was on the floor.
Like she did say that.
Like she said, it sounds.
I feel like
bullshit.
I can't. Like my brain took that out because I was like, no person would ever tell somebody that's bullshit.
She's like, I'm sorry, but this sounds like bullshit.
She did say that.
I could not believe that was what she said.
She said that and she held her and said it and looked in her eyes and said it. She said she held her hands together like a fucking hostage. She was like, that was bullshit. I'm sorry.
Why did she keep grabbing her?
Honestly, that whole scene made me so uncomfortable. You do not even understand. I was actually really hard for me to watch that.
Me too.
I have never witnessed in all of like my life seen a woman be actually really bullied by two like grown women. 2 grown women actually bully another woman. And then like, yes, we can say, no, have you seen Atlanta? Have you seen New York? No, all the other ones, or Jersey. It's not the same. She was sitting down. She was cornered. She was being vulnerable. She was crying and she didn't want to be there in that moment.
I wanted her to leave. Sorry, guys.
Kyle was literally physically preventing her from like, because I feel like Kyle wanted her to stay there to like do whatever Kyle wanted her to do. And she kept on trying to move away from Kyle and just try to finish up her conversation with Diana. And it just made me so uncomfortable because I was like, that is literally, and I don't like when people, I try not to use the word bullying too much because I think it has gotten
overused.
It's overused. So now the effect of it isn't there. But that to me was just straight up bullying.
And at one point when she pulled Sutton was like, whoa, like Sutton really got yanked.
Sutton was getting yanked. She was pushing her. She was holding her. She literally was holding her hands like you would a child.
Holding her shoulders. Holding her shoulders.
And Diana is making faces at her like she's a 4-year-old. Like it was, Diana's over here taunting. Kyle's physically taunting her.
So bad.
It was crazy. Oh, sorry, hold on one second. I forgot to plug my computer in. Hold on.
Oh no. Hold on. I'm going to pause this because I can't edit it later. Pausing. We're back. I have no idea what we're talking about.
I'm sorry.
Here.
Manhandling, bullying.
But then, Sutton is like, she's confused as to what Kyle wants from her. She's like, do you want me to be compassionate or not? And Diana goes, you called me soulless, honey. You said she had no empathy. You said you have none. Okay. And then so Sutton is now in tears. And what they didn't show, what they showed in the preview clip for next week is when Sutton said she'd had 2 miscarriages. Diana's like, oh, here come the tears. Oh, your big blue eyes. Oh, like she was fully mocking her.
She was. And that's so disgusting.
And so
Sutton is hilarious. They're green.
Yeah. No, Sutton. She's like, let's be specific. But Sutton instead, they don't show that. So when she's like, so that is horrendous. Like, how does Kyle not go, all right, like stop. Well, but then Sutton goes, this is me trying to relate and be real. And so then rightfully she says, but if you want to be a motherfucker, and then Kyle's like, hold on, don't talk to her like that, and is shaking her.
That's a good point. Yeah, because I actually, until you just said that part, I actually didn't piece it together that way. Now that makes sense. Oh my God, editing is so fucking shady.
I think I might re-edit that scene actually and post it.
Yeah, because like even with them showing me that,
so I don't forget.
Even with them showing me that in this episode, I still didn't even realize that the motherfucker came after Diana doing that. I just thought they were showing a clip of Diana being rude. But I also
I have a feeling it has to, because it's right when she started talking about it, right? Right? Am I making that up?
No, you're not. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're 1000% right. That is exactly what happened. And it makes that makes like more sense. It happen? Yeah, well, the thing is, I was saying last week, like the way Kyle was acting towards Sutton was really annoying to me and just like hard to watch, because it's like Diana would say some terrible things to Sutton, and then Sutton would say some terrible things to Diana. But that's when Kyle would jump in and be all over her and being like, you can't say that. And it was just getting on my nerves, because it was like, it wasn't Sutton just going off on Diana like Kyle is in her drunk mind making it seem. They're both saying nasty things to each other. So for me, that's fine. Like if they're both going to like say some things to each other, that's fine. I think that Diana was going way overboard. And I feel like Sutton was more so like just saying shit back to Diana after Diana's like poking at her, to be honest. But they're 2 grown women, like let them talk. Like, why are you even over here, Kyle? Like
Kyle was even like bending over and like prepared at anytime Sutton would say something. She was like bending over, ready for Sutton to talk. And as soon as she did, she's like, no, stop it. No. I was like, okay, why are you like barricading her from having any kind of an opinion here? It was very, very fucked up. And so then Kyle, to like add insult to injury, said, listen, she lost a baby. You didn't. Maybe years ago. We don't know.
That really fucking pissed me off so fucking much, because
What
she
are you
like
doing?
the audacity to even suggest that she's making that up right now or put it out there. Like she's putting it out there. So now this is going to be, and she excuse me. And Kyle knows what she's doing. She knows that if she says it, the fans will run with it. And they'll be like, well, can Sutton prove that people are disgusting, but like the people who are like don't like Sutton would be out there saying like maybe she didn't, she was like, they're gonna start a whole conversation about it. And it's like Kyle knew that what she was doing. I don't care if she was drunk or not. She knew she's producing. She's always producing.
And then Sutton goes, well, she's looking at me like I'm the devil. Diana goes, are you? I don't know. Okay, Kyle, step in. Kyle, hello.
Because you know why? Sutton, Kyle's not your friend because she thinks those things of you. That's why she's not stepping in. It's the same thing like last year when Garcelle was upset with Rinna for not stepping in when Dorit was going off on her. And she was like, I was just surprised that you didn't like say anything in my defense. And then Rinna in her confessional is like, why would I? Like, I agree, essentially. And that is why Kyle did not say anything in defense of Sutton, because she pretends like she's Sutton's friend, but she is not.
No.
And she thinks those things of her. And it's actually true. Just skipping ahead a tiny bit when Kyle leaves and she says, to Garcelle, they're arguing over there. Sutton crying as always. Did you hear that?
Uh-huh. Ugh.
That's what she thinks of her.
Yeah. And Sutton then starts begging for forgiveness. I was so annoyed by this. But do you see though that Diana is like evil like that? Like she knows how to like get in people's head. She's like an interrogator or some shit she's like a spy because she has, hold on, let me actually backtrack real quick to like last week. Sutton's Southern manners are a bit passive aggressive. So the way she sat Diana down and wasn't like, why did you send that text message to the group saying you weren't coming, you were on bed rest, and now you're here? Instead, she's like, how are you doing? Well, that's confusing. If you don't know what she's doing, if you don't know what Southern charm is, you're like, what the fuck are you saying to me? And Diana won't understand that. So I listen, you know me, I call it fair. I'm not a big Sutton stan. So I can agree that Sutton is going to rub someone the wrong way. But Kyle, that's your friend. You've made a choice to be Sutton's friend now for years. You let her rent your house. You've hung out with her. You've nurtured a friendship. So you obviously know that Sutton's not perfect, but you like her. But now, because she had one freak out on Diana back in Mexico, which she immediately apologized for and owned up to later when she's like, Diana, I promise not to scream on the boat, and tried her best to continue to make Diana feel welcome. Kyle is still, because of that, willing to just be like, yep, Sutton is a devil.
Yeah. First of all, I still don't feel like, first of all, I'm tired of Sutton apologizing to people who don't need apologies. Okay. Because I don't even think that Diana deserved an apology in Mexico, because Diana inserted herself in that conversation. Like she wouldn't have, like I kind of agreed with Sutton. Like she put herself in the crosshairs there. So like, I wasn't like that mad about it. Like, sure, I was a little sorry, fine for like screaming, but like, I didn't really care if she apologized or not. Cause also Diana, shut your mouth. Like you didn't have to be in this conversation. Like you inserted yourself in a hot, like, what do you expect when you insert yourself in a two people who are arguing about something and then you insert yourself in it? Like of course they're going to react. They're already heated. So like, I was like, what the fuck do you expect? I don't know. And then I didn't think that Sutton should have apologized to Diana in that moment after she's been mocking her the entire time. But I do agree with you that Sutton is passive aggressive. And I guess it is because of her Southernness or whatever. But like, I don't know. I just felt like it still didn't like require all of what happened in that freaking moment. Like it was like a passive aggressive statement. Yes, but did all of the other things?
But were you a shithead, Diana, for sending that message and then showing up with your book as the gift?
Yeah, it was like super odd. And then like the whole thing, the processional of it too, like it was weird. All black, wearing all black, a processional of like white flowers.
By the way, the book isn't a gift.
Yeah, that's the most narcissistic gift.
That's passive aggressive.
The thing is, let's be real.
Who's passive aggressive here?
Passive aggressive,
right?
It's
actually
like
that's true. They're all passive.
They
aggressive.
are all
of them.
We could give examples, including Garcelle.
All of them.
Every last one of them are passive aggressive. So that's why I guess I'm just like, I don't really care.
Yep.
I don't care. Like, I just don't.
Yeah.
I can't even pretend to care. Like,
so Sutton's now begging for forgiveness, and Diana realizes she has the power, and she goes, "It's all good. It takes time to get to know people." And then they hug. And then, of course, Kyle, what did you want from this conversation? I don't know what you wanted. She's annoyed that they're hugging and making up. She's like, "I'm going to go, you guys. I can't even handle you guys." Ew.
She wanted somebody to storm out, and she didn't.
She wanted a moment. Yep.
She didn't get that. She wanted Diana to slap Sutton or something. Like she wanted something crazy to happen. I don't think she wanted, but she wanted something dramatic to happen. And Kyle does this, she always does this. When people decide that they're going to just shelf something because they don't feel like putting any more energy into it, whether it be fake or not, Kyle hates it because she lives for the drama. And that's why she's always making sure she's right there next to him, continuing to stir the pot. You know what I mean? It's just like she's so transparent. And the thing is, she should ask for LVP to come back because LVP was really masking all her shade for all of these years.
Yes.
Because LVP is just so much more of a like villainy character, but like for me, likable villain. I know, not you. We're not going to go there. We're not going down that rabbit hole. But like Kyle has gotten to like be in the background doing her stuff. And now it's like, there's no one to hide you, girl. You're exposed. And I don't know how many more seasons you can take. Cause she's also not like scrappy. So like, I just don't know how much more of this she can take.
She's not scrappy. She's so sensitive. And have you seen before they started the show or before it aired, did you see her doing interviews saying she may not come back to Housewives?
But I feel like she always says that.
I actually think she might know how this was going to play out. I think she might be like, I didn't have a good season. I think this might be my last season.
I mean, I honestly, with Mauricio getting his Netflix show that I hope everyone doesn't watch.
No, yeah, we're definitely boycotting that show.
I feel like she's like, you know what, maybe I'll just collect my diamond and put it on the shelf and
let her
get to do fun little interviews here and there.
Do like ultimate girls trips.
Yeah.
Go do those. Bye-bye. All right. So then of course Kyle has to storm. She's like, and then she goes and sits next to Garcelle and acting as if she had to be in there.
I know, like someone is like, they made me say that.
She's like, oh my God, I can't with them. And Garcelle's like, is Sutton crying? Like you said. And she's like, of course. Oh my God. Kyle, you could have left when Garcelle left. You didn't have to be in there. You made it worse.
Yeah, I actually think she did make it worse.
And then I felt bad because Sutton was so uncomfortable, but like as Diane and her leaving, Sutton tries to like make light of it. And she's like, now I just feel terrible, like the worst person ever. And Diana's like, okay. Diana feels like she won. And I really don't like that.
I mean, and I think that she'll probably continue to think she won until we get to the reunion. I think that I feel like
even at the reunion, I bet.
Yeah. Like, I don't think that they expected us not to like Diana. They really put all the eggs in that basket, didn't they?
Yeah. They like, I think because, when someone new and rich comes in, they're like, oh, they're going to love her. They're going to love this one.
No, Rich does not give you a personality. Rich does not
Nope.
make a personality.
Nope.
No.
And so as if that wasn't enough, now Erika's like, Garcelle, where's your hot son? And we have a problem. And the way she's screaming at Oliver, like, Oliver, get over here. You're hot. Get over here. It's like, this is so disrespectful. And then, are you married? Yes, I'm married. Well, have your baby mama contact me in my DMs. We can get it in 3-way. If you're watching this, Erika, and you see yourself doing this, this is take that apology you gave Garcelle in that at Sutton's housewarming and say, okay, hold on. I didn't see all this. I didn't see all that. This is very fucked up.
Yeah, it's like there's so many levels of why this is fucked up. Like, one, don't beckon anybody. Like, he's like your little like boy toy. Come over here. Like, he's a man, grown man, and you don't need to be shouting at him like that. Because, like, again, if the roles were reversed and he was shouting at you like that, everyone would be like, who, what? Like, everyone's opinion of that would not be, it's funny. It would be like, that is so misogynistic. That is so aggressive. That is so uncomfortable. Like, it would have been a whole thing. Garcelle would have had to like beg for them not to be upset with her. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
For two, you asked him, and it's like one thing, like, he is an adult or whatever. I guess it, like, I think it's still disrespectful to try to hit on your friend's son.
Married son.
That's what I'm getting to.
Oh, sorry.
I already think that on that level, I think it's disrespectful. But you ask the question, whatever, you shoot your shot. Are you married? Which I'm like, okay, she's at least asking that before she goes any further. And he says, yes. I'm thinking she's going to stop right there. Then like, damn, like say something funny, like, damn. She continues to go for him, which is now disrespectful to his wife. I don't care if you're joking and kid. Yes, exactly. Thank you. His wife and kids. That's so to disrespect their sanctity of marriage because you think you're Erika Jane and he should be just so happy that you're hitting on him. And I think that's what she thinks. Like, he's gonna like, it's okay because I'm Erika Jane. So it's funny. Like of course he's gonna be like flattered that I'm hitting on him. Like, it doesn't matter that he's married. It's like she thinks she's like J-Lo. Like it would be like, even though like,
yep,
it's not cute when anybody does it. Even doesn't matter who you are, no one's above anybody, but like that's what she thinks she is. She thinks she's J-Lo and that like he's just gonna be so flattered that she even like considered it, right?
Yep.
Oh, or she's Kim Kardashian.
That's exactly it, Pia. Oh my God.
And so there's a disrespect on his family level right there. And then she goes into her microaggressions. Would you have, and I say that because like I don't want to like Rinna to accuse me of making it a racial thing just to make it a racial thing, but I do. But if it is a racial thing, I do want to call it out. And I do feel like, I don't think she meant it in that way. And I want to preface it that way, but that's why they're called microaggressions. Like, you do things that you don't realize you're doing. Like, she changed her whole way of speaking to him, her tone. Like, I don't think that she would use that same approach with like a white man that she found attractive. Like, calling, if she had said to a white man that she found attractive, hey, are you married? Yes. We'll tell your baby mama. I really don't think she would have said baby mama. The stairs is going
I
to tropes.
You are correct. Oh, Pia.
Sorry. It's going into tropes and stereotypes. Slide into my DMs and just like all these like little things and stuff like that. It was just like all these things. And even like, I felt a little bit of a way with even her saying, I'm talking to your boy, Garcelle. These boys is a way that like white women and white men would talk to grown ass men, Black men.
It's extremely.
There was just like a lot of little microaggressions. And like, I do not think she was actively thinking that. but that's what a microaggression is. It's deep rooted. And she is from the South, so I don't know like what she was exposed to there. And there is a lot of history of like, you know, microaggressions and racism there. So I just like it would make sense that she didn't even realize that that's like, you know, something within her.
Everything you just said.
So yeah, so that's what I was thinking when I watched that, and that was made me so uncomfortable. So I feel like she really does owe Oliver, and also look at his body language that whole time. He was very uncomfortable, and even within that discomfort, he was keeping a distance, but he didn't want to embarrass her, and he didn't want to make it a big deal, even though he was uncomfortable. You can see it in his tense. He extended his hand to just even respectfully decline her advances, and just, you know, also respect his mother. And she was also putting him in a position to dismiss what his mom is trying to get him out of there, and she's telling her mom.
Hold on, dude. When Garcelle comes up, because Garcelle's like, Oliver, don't walk over there. And Oliver sits down. So Garcelle gets up right away. She's like, no, we are now leaving. So she's like, Oliver, let's go. And Erika says, sweetheart, I'm talking.
Microaggression.
Sweetheart?
That's like these like words that she's using to these grown women, these grown Black people. It's not okay.
Sweetheart? Fuck you. Fuck you. I was so disgusted when she's, sweetheart, I'm talking. I love you. Happy birthday. Oliver. I'm like, okay, that's his mother. His mom.
And you're putting him in a bad position too, because you're speaking to his mother like that. And like, he's trying to keep it like, he's towing a line of like, does he defend his mother in this moment? Does he just keep it like he wants to keep his mom's party like chill? Like, he also has to make sure he's not like, and you're like also putting him as a like, again, I'm so sorry, like for anybody who's going to feel like this is like getting really like racial, but it's really hard not to point these things out. Like, he is a Black man put in this position, and he has to be very careful on how he conducts himself in this space.
Exactly.
And I just felt for Oliver, and I don't know if I just don't feel like not we, but like collectively, like we've all said it. We thought I feel like everybody's pretty much on the same page that we thought that it was terrible what Erika did to Oliver, but I don't think we've ever really, I don't think we've, a lot of people have really deeply analyzed why actually that would be like all of the things that was done to this man in one fail swoop.
And Garcelle's put in a fucked up position because she knows that she has to be careful how she maneuvers this, because if she rightfully screams at this bitch right now, it will be turned against her.
Oh, absolutely. You're so right about that. It's so true, and it's unfair.
Rinna will be like, so I heard there was a problem. It's like, it will be misconstrued for the whole season.
And I am happy. Like, I'm sorry. It sucks that she can't even be able to react in the way that she wants to react because of what you just said, Emily. But I am happy that she was able to keep her composure. And I knew she would be able to, because Garcelle's a class act.
Yeah.
Because it didn't give them the room to dismiss this as much as I think they really wanted to. They tried as much as hard as they could. They definitely tried, but it was much harder for them to accomplish it because Garcelle didn't give them anything.
And so let's move on to the next part of it. So they clearly are like, okay, Crystal is like, as you know, Garcelle's getting them out. Crystal's like, Garcelle, do you want your flowers? And Garcelle's like, sure. She's like fuming. She's like, she get the fucking flowers. So Crystal goes over to grab them. Obviously, Jax, being such a good boy, Jax just hears that and is like, I'll go help grab the flowers. And as he goes to grab the flowers, Erika says, what are you doing here? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here before you get in trouble. And then as he's across the way, she goes, get out. Okay. I get it. She's claiming that she was talking to them like they were adults. They were joking. He had no look of like recognition of her. It's not like he wasn't like, oh, haha, we've been doing this all night. So your apology to Garcelle in the moment at Sutton's housewarming was not enough because you didn't know the full extent of what you did. Now you do. So we deserve more as the viewers, and Garcelle deserves more.
Yeah. And like, even in the flashback of Crystal talking to Erika about her behavior, and like Erika saying like, I mean, yeah, like I shouldn't have been talking to the 16-year-olds like that. And she's like, she corrects her and she's like, he's 14.
We will get to that.
Okay.
We will get, I have a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
Because there's other layers to it that are from other seasons.
Okay.
You probably know what I'm going to talk about, or maybe you don't, but maybe we have, there's so many
actually
layers.
I didn't. And now I do. And now you don't know what I'm going to say.
And now you don't know what I'm going to know. And then you don't know what I don't know. Okay. So Dorit's like, he's getting flowers for his mama. And Erika goes, bullshit. She's a mess, obviously, but Garcelle finds out. And I mean, it's the strength that she had to walk in just to say, you hurt Jax's feelings.
I know.
I thought that was actually really tender because it reminded us that he's a kid. He has fucking feelings, asshole. Okay.
I just got like so like tingly when you said that in like a warm way. Like it was, because it was like a mother.
Yeah.
She was already angry for her one son, and then to find out another son has just gotten it is in a different way, and she's just like, enough. Like it was just like, it was beyond anger. She's just like hurt now. Like it's just like enough.
You hurt his feelings, you bitch.
Yeah, like we're like, you fucking bitch.
Ugh. And then Erika continuing like, Garcelle, and Dorit's like, no. Oh, and then she whispers something in Dorit's ear that they don't even subtitle. What did she say?
She said Garcelle's gonna make this into a thing, something along those lines. That's not verbatim, but she said something like Garcelle is making this into, like, she was saying like Garcelle was like Annie up, and then she was like, I think Dorit kind of was like, no, you're just like, no,
you lie.
I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, go back to it, but it's like something along those lines. Like she's like making this into she's pretty much saying that, to sum it up, she's just telling Dorit like Garcelle is making this into a big deal. And I think Dorit like said something like, no, just be quiet, like, because you are in the wrong here. Like, just be quiet,
girl.
I think that's what Dorit was like, just quiet, like, because like, no, you're actually not here in present to realize that you're the one. Shut your mouth right now. I'm being a friend. Dorit's being a friend to Erika right now. I'm trying to shut her ass up before she digs even more of a hole.
All right. So that disaster.
But go back and watch. I'm pretty sure that's what she said.
I still can't hear. I've watched it 80,000 times. I can't hear it.
I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah. I have really bad hearing though. This is facts. So I oftentimes.
I also feel like I tend to hear. I feel like I'm always the person that always hears what people are saying under their breath.
Ooh, you have one of the, like, that's like a tone that you pick up on.
Yeah, because like people do that shit all the time. I was like, anybody else hear that? Like I heard that shit.
You're like, hello.
Maybe I just always looking for the tea.
I need to pause for 1 second. 1 second, guys. Okay, thank you for allowing us to pause. Pia, what did you discover upon your rewatch of that clip? What did she say under her breath?
She said she whispered to Dorit, she was pushing it. And Dorit's like, no. She's like, she was pushing it. And she was like, no. So she was, that was like what I said, like essentially, like she's saying that Garcelle is, making a mountain out of molehill, making this situation bigger than it is. She's making it into a situation. And
so can you imagine if Garcelle had actually yelled at her?
Yeah. And Garcelle was pretty firm. She just said, don't talk to my son like that, and walked away. Like it wasn't a thing. She didn't yell. I would have, like, oh God. I think I would have charged her.
because here I don't have a kid, but I have a little sister, and even to this day, as a grown adult, if my sister is arguing with someone, I have to check myself because I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like even with my brother-in-law, like sometimes when they get in a fight, I'm like, hold on. Oh wait, hold on. This isn't my like I'm very protective of people. So I know Garcelle had so much on her head because she's like, we're filming. I know that the whole season we have to film so much of the season still. Like she had so many things running through her head. And it's also, there's no point in talking to someone that drunk. There's no point.
Yeah. I just thought of something really quick. We haven't gotten to this part of the season yet, obviously. But I always thought that the reason why Rinna was inserting herself in Kyle and Kathy's like drama and like, and then why Erika was pointing out what happened with Kathy, all that stuff that we don't know exactly what happened yet, that's to come, was because Rinna wanted a storyline, which she does, and Erika wanted to like not talk about her court case, but it's because of this. They're trying to like, Erika is trying like,
oh, they're trying to distract.
Yeah, it's because this has already happened. So if they make Kathy's thing into a bigger thing, it overshadows what happens with this.
Wow.
Stuff. I think that's like, I mean, and Rinna is team Erika, so she would probably help get that narrative. She, like, one is helps her because it gives her something to do, and it helps her friend. I don't know. Conspiracy theory.
Wow.
I just like, I don't know. Because like we all assumed it was because Erika's just tired of us talking about the lawsuits, but we're not talking about that really that much this season. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. So guys, when the Kathy stuff comes up, let's keep this Erika energy. Remember what she said.
Yes.
Because that's what she's hoping for, that we move on to Kathy. Keep up this Erika energy.
So Garcelle, she goes into glam the next day to like Kiki with her glam team, and RHOBH was living for all of it. He's like, I was living for Kyle, rubbing her vagina all over the dance floor, Erika being messy, and Garcelle's like, yeah, you liked it, but that wasn't fun for me. But they were being everything that a glam squad is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But then Crystal takes Dorit to self-defense class. And I'm not going to go too far into this, but I loved when Dorit showed up. And this is very Dorit. She goes, I'm a big believer in having the tools to protect yourself. You're a big believer in that, Dorit? Okay. But now let's move on to the more infuriating scene, which is the Kyle and Sutton dinner.
Wait, really quick. I just wanted to tell you something about the Dorit scene. I used to live over there.
I was like, I know that exact area.
Okay. I was like, and that's my favorite Wendy's in that parking lot.
I know that's a ghetto area too. That's like not, I was like, they went there.
They have I know. I was like, guys, you do not understand the area that they were in. I was so freaking shocked that Dorit agreed to go there. And that is the best Wendy's ever. Okay. Just
why is it so good?
So freaking fresh. It looks like the pictures. It's like there will be lines around the corner. It's one of those.
Yeah.
It's elite. The Wendy's by me now in Burbank.
Not so good.
Not good. Like lettuce is dull.
Oh,
and whether I Postmate it or go in the drive-through, they will forget something in my fucking bag. Like they one time I Postmated and they forgot a whole sandwich. The sandwich, the drink. I ordered 2 sandwiches, so Sean did not have a sandwich that day. I was like, I'm still hungry. Sorry.
You're like, oh, I'm so sorry, Sean.
It's like, you didn't really want a sandwich, did you?
That sucks for you, man. What a bummer. So sorry.
Sorry, that was a really tangent, but
so they get to the Italian restaurant and they order their food. I need to point out that Sutton's dish didn't look like gnocchi, so I was like, was it risotto?
Yeah, that did not. I thought the same thing, Emily. I was like, that's gnocchi.
I was like, she changed her order and they didn't talk about it because that is risotto.
Yeah, I was like, that is not. That is. I was like, that's not it.
That's not, they got the wrong dish.
Kyle's pasta looked so good.
Yeah. No, it made me want pasta. Like
I want it. So
this
bad.
Italian restaurant did a good job because that looked good.
It looks so good.
But Kyle's like, okay, let me just translate what this scene was for Kyle. Kyle was like, okay, Sutton, because according to Kyle, let me actually here we go back. Let me read Kyle's story. Like when she had issued that statement about all the scenes, she said, "Hi guys, I wanted to share some things with you about this week's episode. I have not seen it yet, but I've seen the clips floating around online. First, let's address my comment to Sutton. When Diana was sharing her story about having a miscarriage, I was taken aback because I felt like Sutton wasn't letting Diana have her moment to share what she had just recently gone through. I'd obviously had a few drinks and didn't express myself clearly, and I was disappointed in the way I handled myself altogether. When I woke up the next morning, I thought about what happened the night before, and I realized that maybe Sutton was sharing her story with Diana to connect with her in some way. I immediately called Sutton and apologized to her. I consider Sutton a close friend and care about her a lot. Sutton accepted my apology and we moved on." Now, okay, my point of bringing that up is that she called. So she's already called Sutton and done an apology, but this is now a scene that they're filming. And so this is supposed to be for Kyle, and Kyle hates apologizing and admitting she's wrong. This is Kyle's apology to Sutton scene. And so Sutton was supposed to shut up. Sutton was not supposed to speak. So Kyle says, when I came in and you were talking about the miscarriage, Sutton goes, okay, but that's not what we were talking about though. And Kyle goes, okay, hold on. Let me make something clear. I apologize. I don't think you made that up. And Sutton's like, huh? And Kyle's like, I don't want you to think that. Oh, did you not think that? Okay, good. And then she kind of like shoves Sutton, and then Sutton goes, okay, don't push me. And that on the phone call they had, she's like, and you kept pushing me and grabbing me. And Kyle was like, oh, whatever, because Kyle will then mock this a few times. She goes, I'm not pushing you. Kyle's like, it was a knee-jerk behavior because it was coming off odd behavior of yours. And then when Diana was talking about her miscarriage and you were like, that happened to me too, I thought, well, that's convenient. Sutton says, I was relating to her on a deep, visceral, and Kyle cuts her off and says, and that is why I am apologizing. You're making it very hard to apologize to you. Because you're not letting her have any opportunity to explain that you had no business being in the conversation. Your apology is going to be exactly what you want it to be. Just apologizing for this one little thing. You owe her a much bigger apology. Yeah. Much bigger apology than what you're giving her.
Yeah, I felt like.
And so Kyle's like, well, don't you see though? It makes sense that Diana's like weirded out by you because based on what she's seen so far. And Sutton's like, okay, look, I blew up one time and then I apologized right after her. And then she demonstrates with the wine bucket. And then I was like, here you go. Here, hugging. And Kyle is not having it. Kyle's so pissed because she did not get her proper apology scene. And she's like, you're really hard to apologize to. And because you don't shut up. And so Sutton, realizing that she still needs Kyle's friendship because she wants to stay on the show, she's like, come here, give me a hug. So she gives her a hug and Kyle goes, you're not going to say I'm punching you?
Well, you're not currently, so no.
Yeah, so no, because you're not.
When you are, I will.
And it's funny, Kyle didn't address that in her story post. She didn't address, I should not have been grabbing Sutton and pushing Sutton and holding Sutton. I was just drunk and was trying to make a point.
I have had girlfriends do that. I'm just a touchy person and my girlfriends know that about me. It's not attacking. They don't feel threatened. It's just me. I'm when I'm drinking, I'm very all over. I'll hug you too. That's what she's going to say. Guarantee at the reunion when Andy brings it up, if he does.
This was Kyle hates apologizing, but she knows she has to because it's a very touchy subject. But she was very annoyed that Sutton had was going to deviate from the script.
You nailed that analysis to a fucking T. And that's what Kyle, because we know you really well.
Oh yeah. Hi. We've known you for 12 years.
Yeah.
See how that works, Kyle?
Yeah,
Doesn't quite have the impact you think it does.
Yeah. We also know that you're going to say some really fucked up shit.
Mm-hmm.
Wait to see if everyone thinks it's funny or cool. And then if it's not a no-go, go on an apology tour and then somehow make it someone else's fault.
Yep.
That's you.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Clear. That's what you've done for 12 years, baby.
So nice try, though. Anyway, now we get a big Thanksgiving segment. Kyle's really, she loves the opportunity to talk about how big her family is and how she's going to be a grandma. But that's whatever. She has a fan base. She's like 3.5 million followers on Instagram. So,
I mean, I understand the people that like Kyle because Kyle, again, we are coming from California where we can see through the phonies, right? Middle America cannot see what we are seeing here. Okay. This woman, and she for a time there, she's done a good job of like playing what seems to be Switzerland or a mediator. But again, I think that with it's starting to unravel. And I think everyone now is just like, she's just not being able to hide it as well. But like, yeah, I think that those are built-in followers, people who are just loyal because of her, like from the beginning. And I do think that this is the most pushback we're starting to see for at least Kyle.
Yeah.
That we've ever seen.
A lot of the posts about those clips that were the previews that were released, a lot of the posts were like, I'm a Kyle fan, but this is bad. Like a lot of them I've been seeing a lot of that.
And I think that people will still like, I don't think that this is going to be the end of Kyle by any means at all, because again, she's not ever directly in the drama. She's just doing stupid things. And the thing is, a lot of people do stupid things. I do stupid things. You do stupid things. So people tend to forgive people. I'm not saying we are. I'm just saying people tend to want to forgive people who do stupid things because they themselves know that they have said or done something stupid. So she's never directly doing anything to make people be like, ugh. But like Lisa Rinna, she does.
I need her gone. If she's not gone, I will not watch.
Lisa Rinna, like she really steps in it.
Mm-hmm.
Really does.
Speaking of Rinna stepping in it, she goes to Diana's house and she's like, oh my God, Diana's so rich. She sold her house for $87 million, which is disgusting.
Damn.
Just disgusting. Rinna, by the way, Rinna added way too much orange juice into their mimosas. It was disgusting.
Do you want to know how much orange juice I want in my mimosa? I want smaller than that.
I want you to like, I don't obviously drink anymore, but back then I wanted it to barely be tinted orange.
Like I stopped even pretending like I wanted any of that shit in there. I said, is there just the Prosecco option? Because I honestly really, you could hold the orange juice. I really don't need it. I don't need the orange juice.
But Rinna doesn't really like know how to consume things. So she's like, okay, she just poured it all in there. And then she goes, how was Garcelle's party? As if I didn't know we were going to talk about this. And of course they talk shit and they do the impression of Sutton's face, which is accurate. That's fine. But then they say, Diana says that the 2 miscarriages thing was an attempt to one up her. Because again, this is like when on the boat, when she's like, my dad committed suicide. So it's like, I know it's like when they're gone so fast, you can't say goodbye. It's like, just because someone else has also gone through trauma, it doesn't mean they're just trying to relate to you. Do you not know what that is?
Yeah. Like cause she's so used to competing, and that's what the issue is. Like she needs to reflect. Diana needs to reflect on why she always feels that people are like trying to compete with her constantly. Like that's like a you thing. And I do know that there are some people who are one-uppers. Like I understand that there are one-uppers in the world.
Alexis Bellino from Orange County was such a one-upper.
Right. And yes, absolutely. That's a good example. But like, I know it sounds like I'm a Sutton stan. It's just that these women are coming for Sutton. So I think, I out of the blue for me, like for no reason. Like there's no real crime that Sutton has committed for the amount of like hate that she's been getting. That's why I'm like, I'm not even like a Sutton stan. Like I think she's okay. Like that's about it. But like these women it's like the Denise thing all over again. Like I wasn't even necessarily a Denise stan, but you guys are going so crazy at her that I'm like, God.
Yeah.
Like this is like, this doesn't even I don't even understand why. But I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? I did. I literally was like, what are we talking about? What just happened? I really don't know. Like I blacked out. Like I'm not drunk, guys. Like I don't know. Maybe
it's okay. You're sick. Yeah. But then my favorite, Rinna goes, that's narcissism. Oh, that's rich.
Did Diana tell Rinna, I don't know if they cut it out, that she walked into Garcelle's party wearing an all black gown that draped onto the floor and had her two gay I feel like they were gay boys with her carrying her book her book in white roses are surrounding it, and handed it to Garcelle, and that ain't narcissism. And it's Spanish.
But then Diana goes, next time they can fly commercial. Oh, bitch.
Sutton, for the last goddamn time,
you don't
afford a plane.
You got to do your research before you try to do a read like that, because Sutton's rich.
Sutton can afford a plane. And I actually think Kyle can too. She just is more modest with her money. Kyle can absolutely afford a plane. I think they did have a private plane when they just came back from I think they were in Paris. I think I saw pictures of them on a private plane. I think that they choose to fly commercial because it's more economical, and they would like to have, money in case anything happens and for their children. And so they can have wealth beyond just now.
Next time they can fly commercial, that's all I'm saying. And I feel like Rinna actually knew in that moment that Sutton could totally get a private plane, but she didn't want to take away from Diana's moment.
Yeah.
She was
honestly, anytime I know that Rinna wants to agree with something but doesn't because it doesn't fit her narrative, she does something, she has a tell, and she does this looking away thing, pursing her lips, and she does this later. We'll get into that.
Then we get, this is literally a take 2 of last year's hilarious Mauricio PK laughing at Erika's stories. Now it's take 2, but now we have to be pro Erika. So it's at Kyle and Mauricio's house. Dorit and PK show up. That fucking neon sign in Kyle's entryway that makes 0 sense in her house. And they are setting up this whole scene. By the way, there was this tiny little moment. Kyle says to Dorit, you were already thinking about moving before this, but where are you at with that now? And there's a weird moment. Dorit kind of gives her a look. I don't know. I feel like they can't quite move. The money stuff is so questionable with them. I'm like, can they even move? Anyway, then the scene happens, and we've already talked about it. But here's I swear, Kyle said to Mauricio and Dorit said to PK, we have got to say nothing but good things about Erika. Okay.
Oh, this is the redeeming thing. I kind of felt like that too. Not
everyone says it's everyone's like, this is why.
So they're we're making up for it. This is the thing that we promised we would do. I don't know if that Erika. I actually don't think Erika put her up. I don't know.
I don't think Erika put her. No. But they knew they were going to film this scene anyway, because they always do these little scenes.
Yeah.
So this was their chance. We're going to talk about what Erika did. Okay. So in what world Kyle trying to relate to us, when you hear your friend had a drunk night and did something crazy. Yeah, bitch, I know what that's like. Okay. There are a multitude of things that someone could tell me that they did when they were drunk and having fun and being crazy that I would laugh at. But I want to know, first of all, I want to know who's the one who told you, Kyle, who said, because if it's not, let's assume it's not Dorit, because she's acting like it wasn't Dorit. She's acting like she asked you guys, did you miss Erika? Like she's acting like she didn't know they know. Okay. So let's go. Who told you? So someone, Kyle, oh my God, last night when Jax, Garcelle's 14-year-old, went to grab the flowers as they were leaving, Erika was like, get the fuck out of here. And Kyle went, that's hilarious. I still don't see how any of it's funny, because you knew she was drunk. Like Kyle knew she was drunk based on all of her behavior. It's not like she didn't know Erika was drunk. So I'm sure there were like a million other stories that people were telling her, like, and then Erika did this, and then Erika did that. And then Erika told her 14-year-old to get the fuck out. That's where you go, oh shit. Oh, she owes her an apology. That's where you stop.
You would think, wouldn't you? And it's like, I was like, so like baffled that she said the age and still proceeded to say it's not funny, but it's funny.
And they continued to, like, they kept going. Like then Dorit goes, I give her a pass because it's not my kid. And then I swear Mauricio wasn't listening to Kyle, because he just kind of went, I think it's great she did that. I don't even know if he was paying attention.
You know they're going to say, you know how Mauricio, they're going to say that he was. That's what they're going to say. That is exactly what they're going to say. They're like, Mauricio wasn't even listening. He doesn't listen to half the things that we said. He probably only heard what I've been saying to him all this time. Like, I think it's fun that Erika's letting her hair down. She's going to say that fucking one more time. And he was responding to that and not about Jax. He didn't even hear me say Jax. Like, I like when all of the stuff was coming out online, like he was like, that happened? No, of course not. Like, he's Portia's age.
Nope. Because
that is what's gonna fucking happen.
Because they continued to talk about it. And then PK fully co-signing it. But then their reasoning, I don't remember a time that she was that loose and free. This isn't loose and free. Let me put it this way. Why does her being blackout drunk, Dorit looks visibly uncomfortable at the party with Erika. She doesn't look like she's having fun.
No, she doesn't. But
so how is that loose and free?
Because Kyle said those words to say. That's what Kyle told her to say. And so she had to say it.
She's literally going off of what Kyle is saying right now. She's like, oh, this is the tone of the conversation. This is what we're going with.
I also, though, like, I was talking to my friends about this, and she only really did say, Dorit, I'm speaking of, in her confessional, that she was mortified about, like, when she's narrating, like, what happened to, like, Erika saying that about Garcelle's 14-year-old son. She was like, my stomach dropped and all that stuff. That's in the confessional. So this is after, and I always have to remember that.
Yeah.
So part of me is like, do you think that she was self-editing because she was like, this isn't going to bode well for me? And she knows that she already talked shit with Kyle, Mauricio, and PK. And I'm not saying that she didn't feel those sentiments in some way, but I feel like, I don't know if she would have said that if she didn't see how things were playing out later, and like self-editing bit.
I'm curious too, because when something is coming up in a confessional, I'm like, so obviously this scene was shot with Mauricio, the four of them was shot before.
Yeah.
And so, because they get prompted, they're like, okay, and then what happened, like with the whole thing with Jax and Erika, and she's like, oh my God. And she tells her knee-jerk response to it, which is why she's going to, here's my prediction. My prediction is she's going to say, clearly, I felt like it was a bad thing because that's what I said in my confessional. What we were laughing at in that moment was just how fun it is to see Erika be so messy. It's like, that isn't fun, guys. Her disrespecting a married man, AKA Garcelle's son, right in front of Garcelle.
Yeah.
Is bad enough. But then also cussing out her youngest child is also bad. So I get it. We like our friend to be fun and get wasted sometimes. We all have that friend that like never lets loose. And when they do, it's a great time. But it's fine that she went too far.
And it's like, I meant to say this earlier. I kind of forgot this, but it's reminding me. It's like when like they're all making it feel like Oliver and Jax are just not like should be like treated in the same way as the other housewife children. Like even with the way that Erika and like, you know, Crystal did correct Erika with the age of Jax, and Erika just being so like, oh, well, sorry, did I skip ahead again?
I don't know.
Were we going to talk about, we didn't talk about the Crystal flashback yet, right?
Not yet. That's when she was arriving to the.
Okay, sorry. I, for some reason, thought we like moved past and I was like, I forgot to say what I was going to say. I'm sorry. Okay. I was like, damn it. I forgot to say what I was going to say. Okay. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
It was the break. And I was like, oh, did we say that already?
Pia, you are sick. You can take all the mistakes and the
guys. Everybody's like, what is wrong with this girl today? Okay.
No, by now they know you, girl. By now they know who you are. They know she is sick. Okay, she has a cold. Have you taken a bunch of COVID tests?
Yes.
And it's like all negative. It's so weird to get colds. Now you're like a cold.
Well, that's my thing. It was so funny because immediately I thought I had COVID, and I was like, "Oh, finally," because I haven't had it before, or at least to my knowledge. And so I was like, "Oh, here it is, the big one." And I took a test. I took a test, and it was negative. And I was like, "Okay, but you know, I know that I could be positive like later." So I've taken one almost every single day this week, and they're all negative, like really negative. Like they pop up negative
right away,
pretty fast. Like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm like, I don't know why I like just be like, I think we've all collectively like anytime we get sick, it's like it's COVID, right? And it's like that doesn't mean like all the other things have gone away.
I know, that's why we're like, oh yeah, there's other strains of illnesses, and now it's all going to just be like tying in. Like it's not COVID. It's like when you get influenza B or influenza A. Yeah. I only know that because of Vicky Gunvalson. And she had to prove it. Yeah. Anywho. Okay. Wow. We're already at 2 hours, Pia. Sorry. It's our fault. We knew it was going to be a long one. It was an hour. We did an hour of social media gossiping first. But okay, I love this scene. Sheree comes over to Garcelle's house before they're going to go to Sutton's housewarming. So Garcelle can tell her what happened at the party. Sheree was amazing in this scene. Like her reactions were so authentic. And she was just like when Garcelle goes, when she said to Jax, like, get the fuck out, she goes, now, wait a minute.
Let me tell you something. Sheree is the friend we've always, you know how they're always like a friend of. I've never seen a person play the friend of role better than fucking Sheree in this short amount of time we've seen her. Because if that was so that is the fucking best response that you could like, wait a minute.
And then Garcelle's like, I didn't want to say too much because she was so drunk, but I need to get her when she's sober. And then Sheree's like, is that happening today? Garcelle's like, it's happening today. I don't know where you're going to be, but you better come find me. And Sheree goes, let me start taking these earrings off now.
Yeah, just like, let's go.
I'm obsessed with this dynamic. We needed more than one Black woman on this show. Jesus Christ. Like
it was, and you know what? But the thing is, the reason why it's working is that it's authentic friends.
Yes,
that's why we're having such a good reaction to it. And I think that Bravo, like when it was in its best day, it was when there were a lot more actual connections. Like as much as you didn't like I know, like you didn't like LVP. Like Kyle and LVP were
in the beginning, I
Well,
loved the Kyle LVP friendship.
right, because they were actually friends, like you know, for years. And I think that, and like same going to Vanderpump Rules, like in the early seasons, we loved it so much because those people were actually friends or in some way in each other's lives. You know, it wasn't so manufactured. And then I think my favorite, like the reason why my least favorite season of Vanderpump Rules is because they tried so hard to recast and put a whole bunch of people in a friendship dynamic. Like that's weird.
And everyone was like, who are you people?
Yeah, it's like I have to tell all my secrets to Danica. I don't know her.
Exactly. I really don't understand why. Oh, wait, hold on. The best thing, the very last part of the scene with them is is they cheers and she says to setting a bitch straight.
The duo we didn't know we needed.
I'm like, I pure joy is felt whenever I see her, and more, and just there's more to come. I'm so happy.
Give her a diamond. If they give Diana a diamond over Sheree.
And this is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that they see how much we love Sheree and they go, okay, well, obviously we're going to have Sheree back. So Sheree, Garcelle, and then they kind of like built Sheree, Garcelle, Sutton, and Crystal, and they build it around like the new people because we're tired. If they bring back, I hope they don't bring back Rinna. I really don't. I want to keep watching the show. If they bring back Kyle, that's fine because Kyle's so like easy to fuck with. Kyle's so easy to fuck with.
I actually really want Kim to be brought back so Kim can put Kyle in her fucking place.
I'm a little concerned about that though.
I know
Kim isn't okay.
I know. That's the only problem.
I don't think Kim will put Kyle in her place. Kim will actually make everyone concerned for her.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, it'll make people go, oh wait, maybe Kyle wasn't incorrect in being concerned for Kim.
Okay, well, you've checked me.
Yeah, like it'll be like, I think it will actually make Kyle like validated a little bit. So like, I think that Kim should say doing some cameos here and there, and that's it.
Yeah. Kathy, I think, was she on Watch What Happens Live, or she was doing some interview, I think, and she was, or maybe I read it in an article. I don't know. Somewhere Kathy said she thinks that they could convince Kim to come back on the show.
I think that's bullshit. I think even Kathy wants to keep Kim off camera.
Okay.
Because I think even Kathy's like, no, we love her, but she will never admit it because she's very protective. But I feel like even she's like,
I feel like Kathy actually loves Kim, and I don't think
loves Kim,
and I think she tolerates Kyle.
Absolutely. And I think she knows, like, to protect Kim, she would not want her back on TV because they wouldn't be able to conceal what's really going on.
And Kim, let's just quick PSA. Kim was the breadwinner in that damn family for a very long time. Like that was talking about, like Kyle also was talking about, she was like a child actor. She was, but Kim Richards was the one bringing in the big movies. Okay. She was the one really bringing in the checks. So that poor woman, her trauma, it's on her hands. Okay.
It's on her hands.
Pen, you farted. Oh my God.
Uh-oh. He's like, what? All right. So Sutton setting up the table with the muddy grass and her slippers was very stressful because the slippers were going to get wet. But also, this is Thanksgiving. You do not have an outdoor festivity in November in California. I get it.
Bailey does that. I go over to her house every year.
Bailey is a mutual friend of ours, by the way.
Yeah, I love her though. She's so nice because I'm always like needing some, because I don't go home for Thanksgiving because I can't go home for Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's too expensive. So she'll always invite me over, and she has this beautiful house and backyard, but I'm like, God damn, it's always so damn cold.
Yeah, it gets cold, and Sutton, this shit's muddy, and these people are gonna have expensive ass shoes.
I mean, as much as Rinna was being a little annoying about the shoes, I also was like, I mean, I'm not going to like mess my shoes up for this. She would have been nice. I don't know why no one suggested this to her, because someone could have easily gotten this for her really quickly.
Put cardboard down.
Not cardboard, like, because I know like Sutton would want it to be more chic than that. They could have gotten really nice like rugs. What are those rugs that I'm trying to think of? They're like Runners. Very old timey. No, they're rugs.
Like the bohemian-y type ones.
maybe no.
Regardless,
they're like more whatever.
we
Like
have,
rugs,
we have bigger
beautiful,
fish to fry.
sorry, the rugs. I'm just saying the rugs. She could
We
have
got
done
it.
something to.
She could
Okay.
have. She absolutely. She was stepping in the mud. She should have been like, I should put something down here.
Yeah, like we could have made that work. I'm just saying we could have made it work.
She could have made it work. She's like, I'm stepping in the mud. So, hey, maybe we should put something underneath the table to protect everyone's shoes.
There was absolutely a way to fix that, but whatever. It's fine.
I was like, girl, all right. Anyway, Rinna's the first to arrive and she looks terrifying. She, like, her hair is crazy. She's so thin that this whole outfit was just so severe. And she's just so fake. And she's like, oh, it's got great energy. It's got great energy in here. I'm like, get out.
She's terrified.
I would not.
She looked terrified.
Fuck.
Fucking Sutton, your hair looks great.
Your hair looks amazing.
I feel like when people say things too quickly, it's because they are like,
because they can't. They have to acknowledge it, right? They're like, let me talk about this hair because I can't distract.
Because like that actually makes me feel like, does it? Because you're like saying it so quick because you just want to like, because you're trying to like not say what the fuck.
I'm dead.
Your hair looks great.
Your hair looks great. Your hair looks great. Oh my God. Garcelle and Sheree arrive next, and Garcelle's like, no, I'm not going to have any alcohol yet. I need to be fresh for when I talk to Erika. And now we are going to talk about the scene. Erika is en route to the house and says to the producer when they ask in the confessional, like, oh, is this your first time going to Sutton's new house? She's like, I don't give a shit about Sutton's new house. I am terrified of Garcelle. And the Haitian mom, I fucking pissed off.
Honestly, I respected the fact that Erika was like, I'm going to get my ass handed to me when I get into that goddamn house. I was like, I was happy that she didn't go the route of like trying to talk a big game, like whatever, Garcelle, like, you know, in her confessional, she was like, oh, mm-hmm. I already know.
And then they do the flashback of, okay, so here's this, let's get into this. So the flashback is Erika, Crystal's trying to tell, they're on like a hike and Crystal's trying to tell her like, okay, like this is the shit you did last night. She's like, or whenever. And she's like, you were telling the other one, and Erika interrupts her. She's like, oh, to like fuck off or whatever. Yeah, we were like, I was talking to them. Like we were like hanging out, like whatever. They're 16. They're not like children. Hold on. They're 16. That doesn't she did this with Denise's daughter too, when they were talking about how it was like inappropriate to talk about threesomes. And she's like, oh, like she hasn't heard of it already or done it already, or some sort of like insinuation that she was already super seasoned and knows all about things. I need her to stop acting like other people's children are grown-ups, and because she was probably forced to grow up very, very young or something. It's like, well, that's even if they were 16.
See, this is the thing with Erika. She has like all these double standards, and I know you're going to get into it, so I want you to bring up your point.
That actually was my point.
No, I know what you're going to say though. There's something else that
was it.
Okay, fine. Then I'll say it. Erika has all these double standards where, you know, Denise's kid, 14, she's probably been seen a lot because she's using what she knows, like with Charlie Sheen and what some of the things Denise has, you know, disclosed to them about like the hookers at Thanksgiving and stuff like that, to say that like she's probably doing all that stuff anyway, like trying to, like she doesn't have a respect for Denise's parenting or like respect for her children because of that. And I think that and then the little microaggressions come in for Garcelle's kids, because she, like, a lot of times people view teenage boys as men, and they don't see them as boys. Like we see it with Trayvon Martin, like he's 14 too. Like they view them like, for some reason they don't see them as children. And it's that, like, that is what's so telling to me. The way she was speaking to them, she doesn't see them as kids. And I'm like, they are kids. They look like kids.
They look like kids.
They act like kids. They're goofy. But like, for some reason, like, she can't see them as kids. Like, you know what I mean? And I think it's a respect level. And it's like, it doesn't even necessarily be black or white. Like, I think it really for her also comes down to a respect level and like how she views certain people. And I don't think that she would ever talk to Dorit, talk to Rinna, talk to Kyle's children in those ways, whether they be 16 or 14 or however old they are. Like, she wouldn't talk to Farrah like that. Farrah's a grown-ass woman. She wouldn't say go fuck off ever.
And
go
ahead.
So real quick, and then the thing that I thought you were gonna say was, but she's so quick to get upset when Eileen, I think you said that last week, when Eileen talked about her son. That's why I thought you said that last week, when Eileen talked about her son.
I did not bring that up, but it's been brought up quite a few times online already. Like, she couldn't say, she didn't kill your child. Don't ever bring up my kids. Like, whoa, bitch.
And he is an adult.
And he's an adult.
He was an adult.
Also, Garcelle came in and said to you, you hurt his feelings. So regardless of what you thought you did and you were doing, it didn't land because you were told by his mama that you hurt his feelings. So I don't care what you fucking thought you did. Firsthand from the mama's mouth that you fucked up. So the next morning you shouldn't be like, oh, I was just hanging out. It was fine. Don't try to tell me they're babies. Okay. Excuse me. Well, their own mother told them that that you hurt their feelings. The problem is you don't fucking remember what you did, and now you do. So comment on it.
Ugh. It's so crazy. Like, the Erika in the past, like the turning up on the most simplest things. And I hate Teddy, but like even turning up on Teddy for saying pretend amnesia, which is hilarious. Like, how actually angry she got when she said that. Like, how angry, and Eileen was her friend. She got at Eileen, but she's just mentioned her son. Like, does she not think about those moments ever? No. And like how, like, it's just like, and these women have such composure. Both of them had such composure when she did it to them.
Yeah.
And then, just pisses me off.
Yeah.
And everyone had such empathy. Also, let's talk about the empathy everyone had for Erika when she did get upset. The whole cast had empathy both times. They all rallied around her. They all had empathy for her. And I just don't see that same love for Garcelle. And I wanted to really see that online too, to be honest.
Anyway, so Erika gets to Sutton's, and I would have respected it so much had she walked in that door and been like, Garcelle, I am so sorry. Yeah. I would have. That's what I would have done. I would have been like, first of all, I would have already called her. I would have already made a phone. Done. Been like, oh my, I would have woke up with the worst hangover and been like, oh my God.
I would have been mortified.
Let's say I wanted to save it for camera. I would have walked in that door and been like, oh my God, guys, Garcelle, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't fully remember everything. I thought I was being funny with the kids, but I guess I hurt their feelings. I remember you saying that. I'm really sorry. That was not okay. Instead, she lets it be awkward and is waiting for Garcelle to say something. And so Garcelle is trying not to ruin Sutton's event probably. And so she's like waiting for a proper moment. It's incredibly weird. And then there's this tension and but when Garcelle said that how you behave when you're drunk is how you really are, that is actually an improper, that's an old trope that should be debunked. It's actually a kind of an AA trope that's been mainstreamed.
Thank you for pointing that out.
It is not, it's not accurate. And it's actually kept a lot of like people sort of in the same cycle of feeling shitty. It's not true. Alcohol is a poison and it goes in your body and you can become a monster, especially if you're mixing it with medication. So you can black out and become a whole different person. But Garcelle doesn't appear to be very educated on substance abuse, because in the trailer for next week, she says something like, don't you think that can lead to an alcoholism? And I'm like, that is not correct terminology. So everybody deserves to be a little bit more aware of these things, because we're going to start talking about this stuff coming up. And so I don't think that necessarily Erika's truth comes out, but her behavior afterwards is her truth. The way she handles herself afterwards. Because as someone who did a ton of embarrassing things when I was fucked up, I came correct afterwards.
Yeah.
Correct.
I always do. And I also, and my friends I have some wild stories, and I don't know why I do know why they're still my friends, because it is in the moments that the craziest things that I've done, inebriated, terrible things, not like, okay guys, I didn't like kill anybody, but like, just like things that you regret.
You've heard it here first.
Yeah. Then I always immediately feel that guilt the next day, and I apologize. And it's so funny. My quick story. When I did blow up on my friends once when we were in Bali, and I
think you told this story here, and I love it. And then you were like throwing shit all over the.
Yeah, I did. I threw everything all over the bill like a fucking crazy person.
Because the next day you had to clean it up.
I did. The thing is, no one had to tell me to. I just did it. I just started cleaning up, and I was quiet, and I was thinking about everything. And I was like walking past, trying to feel out the vibe. I was like, is this irreversible? We have 2 more weeks of this trip. This is like, we're only in like day 3. And I go one by one, because I also don't like a group thing. I feel like people get like gangy up. And I mean, not that I didn't deserve it, but I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to like
handle everyone at once.
Yeah. So I like did all my apologies separately, and they were heartfelt, and I took accountability. And after they were all humble, and they accepted it. But then of course they have to give me a little sass after. They're like, oh, we saw you walking around doing your Pia thing. Guilty as a motherfucker. Just figuring out how to say sorry. But we knew you would.
It's the perp walk after you're done. Yeah. Like you're like the next morning. So how she behaves after is proof of who she is. And she was going to excuse it away. We saw how she was on that hike with Crystal. She's like, okay, let's not act like they're babies. Okay. They're 16. Okay. They're 16.
That was a really weird thing to say. Sorry. But 16 is still a minor. They still need to be taken care of. They're still in high school.
How are they adults?
Their brains are not fully developed. There are so many reasons why that was the stupidest thing.
How was that? Okay. So anyway, now let me.
I wanted her to say, they're not like they're kids. They're 42.
Yeah. No, they're 16. Okay. They're grown-ups.
So look, that little boy's not 42. Oh shit.
Damn it. Are you sure? That changes a lot of other things too.
His voice is a little high.
I was real drunk last night. Oh, there are 2 of them? I thought they were the same person because they're twins.
Oh my God.
I thought I was just seeing double.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Maybe she put their ages together.
Right?
Thought they were one.
She added it up. 14 plus 14 is 28, right?
Adult. Legal.
Kyle shows up late because she's a bitch. And they're all complaining about the mud. But Rinna she goes, it's really a metaphor. This beautiful table and it's sitting in mud. I'm like, what? Okay, that was cute. You tried it.
She really did.
That didn't work.
Okay. I was like, Sutton invited you over to her beautiful new home to have like a nice lunch and you're being a bitch. Okay, bye.
Of course she is. Dorit talks about how she's still struggling. She can't drive because she can't be alone. And again, Sheree comes through. She gives her this really sweet moment because Dorit's like, I can't like even take my kids to the park and I'm kind of freaking out. And Sheree goes, take this moment for you. They'll be okay. This is just a moment in time. And I could, they all like took what she said in, like she was so powerful. They were like, yeah, what she said.
Oh yeah. Dorit's face. She was really intently listening to Sheree. Sheree is the friend we never knew we needed. And they better not Marlo her and like put her, like keep her in the friend corner for like 12 years, but she still has a lot of scenes.
No, I need her full time.
Full time.
That's Will Smith's wife. Will Smith, the one who slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars.
And she left him.
Hi, can we please?
Yeah. Like
what are you doing?
Sheree left Will Smith.
So can we please?
Like she's a boss bitch.
So they're like, Diana's not coming. And I'm not even surprised that they thought she would be. However, I forget that Sutton in her Southern charm state was like, we made up, we were friends. But she's not coming. And Garcelle's like, well, that's rude. And Erika's like, yeah, I texted the host to let her know I was running late. And I'm like, Kyle, did you? Probably not.
Oh, Kyle, that's so interesting because I could have swore you were so mad at Dorit when she was late to Teddy's little stupid cult class.
That's right. So because they decided to like stretch this out, we're going to go right into what the first 7 minutes are for next week's episode, since they basically wanted it to be this week's. And they start, they further get into, because, you know, Rinna's like, I could think it's Sutton who says, well, that's passive aggressive of Diana not to say anything. And Rinna goes, well, that's the pot calling the kettle black, isn't it? And and Sutton's like, I'm not passive aggressive. No, I'm not. Said kind of like in that, like, she reminds me of my aunt. My aunt's from Texas, and it's like it's that Southern thing. And what starts it with is Rinna's like, did you call her a motherfucker and soulless? And then they start talking a little bit more she brings up the miscarriages, or like, oh, and then you brought up your miscarriages. Like she has that tone. And then it makes Sutton realize, like, hold on, was she mocking my miscarriages? And that's when we get the flashback of Diana being like, oh, are you going to cry now? Oh, your little blue eyes. And Sutton be like, they're green. And be, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whoa, that was a little intense. They should have left that in. And Rinna says, no, we weren't mocking your miscarriages. I'm like, false. You were. You did mock them. You said she was just trying to one up her. So they go back and forth about that. And
that's when I was like, that's when Rinna, whenever she realizes she's on the wrong. Oh, that's when she does that little, because I saw that moment. She was like, oh, damn.
She's like, damn it, we were, and this is a big topic.
Yeah. She was like, I didn't, because first of all, she's a dumbass. You need to not, you should have asked somebody else that was there, because Diana's version is, I don't think you know her that well. She don't tell stories correctly.
And so Sutton's like, well, I thought we had a whole come together friend moment and it was genuine. And Rinna's like, this is awkward. You may need to talk to Diana, because that's not the experience she had, which really shuts down Rinna. Rinna came in thinking she was going to be like, oh, so you called her soulless and a motherfucker? And Sutton goes, hold on, wait, was she mocking my miscarriages? And she's like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming. Oh shit, I know
she changed up so quick, because then she was like, so what the thing, so I say that because all I heard was her say motherfucker and soulless. So that's what I was asking you.
Oh, and then Sutton's like, I thought we were friends. And she's like, fuck. So okay, abort this plan.
So Sutton's not even mad. Sutton's actually like,
so,
oh,
okay.
Oh, Sutton thought she was confiding in her.
Ooh, backtrack.
I don't want to own this.
She's all rewind.
She's like, God damn it.
something. Never mind. I was going to say narcissistic.
She's like, I'm never missing.
Mind.
She was like, I'm never missing a party again. Like, I need to do my own fucking research.
So they go inside and there's like this moment with Sutton on Bumble or some shit. And then Garcelle goes, okay. Well, first Garcelle notices that even though Erika said she was going to have 1 drink, she's had 3. But she says, okay, Erika, can we talk? And she says, look, you can't talk to any kid like this, especially not my kid. And Erika, everyone looks so uncomfortable. Sutton, it might have been editing, but Sutton's literally like, her head won't even look up. She's like, they're all so scared. But I think her standards are so low for Erika that we were just happy she didn't argue. So
True.
People are like, this is a nice apology. This is good. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's all right. Like she didn't argue. She didn't get defensive. She said it was wrong. But she also didn't know what really happened. And she didn't say she was sorry for what happened with Oliver.
I mean, that's the part I peeped. I feel like she
left that out completely. Also, Garcelle didn't bring it up. But
I feel like Garcelle was just like, I can't even like do all of this right now.
It was sad. I didn't like that Garcelle had to bring it up.
Oh yeah, that I mean, I'm on board with all of that, and everything you just said, actually, every last bit of it, because I myself was like, I was just so happy she didn't argue with Garcelle. And I think it was more so not for Erika, where I was like happy with Erika. I'm just happy that Garcelle didn't have to like argue with someone about what they did to her child, except for when Kyle interjects.
Oh, yes. So
I was trying to do that. I was like, step 4.
So then Garcelle says, look, we had the boat and then we had my party.
Yeah.
Erika has out of her mouth stated that she was medicated on the boat. She said, I took my pills and I drank. And so that's why she was fucked up. So Garcelle, when she says we got to get this mixture of the medication and the booze right, she's not accusing her of something. She's taking her own words. But Kyle, I forgot to mention that Garcelle said the jump ship line already. So this is the second time she said the jump ship analogy. So we're going to break this down. So Kyle goes, she makes his face. She goes, and Garcelle goes, what's that about? What's this face for? She goes, well, I mean, and the way she starts it off, in 7 years, Erika's never lost her cool like that. So like, I think she's allowed a little. Okay, hold on. We'll get to the jump ship analogy in a second. Okay, so you're not appalled at the way she spoke to Garcelle's children, but you're appalled that Garcelle isn't giving her a pass because she's allowed to be fucked up like that. That's what you're more concerned with in this scene. And so when Garcelle says jump ship, I get why Kyle thinks she doesn't understand it. It's because a scene is happening, let's say. So like when they walked into the conversation of Sutton and Diana, that's where Garcelle said to her when they were still outside, she'd said, yeah, Kyle, I feel like you jumped ship real quick in that moment. And she's like, what does that mean? It means that we think we're cool. We think we're friends. And then we get in this moment where there's a debate going on and suddenly you completely shift gears and are on board with that person, leaving us sinking with no life raft.
Yeah.
So thank God Sheree was there in this moment to go. I think what she's saying is she just needs you to be neutral, meaning don't get involved right now to shoot down what she's saying. If you want to get involved equally and say, yeah, Erika, that wasn't great that you did that. But maybe like, we don't say you don't have a problem, but you're not, that's not what you're trying to say, right, Garcelle? Not, well, Garcelle, don't say that, because now Garcelle she's floundering.
Absolutely.
And that's so fucking Kyle. It's producing.
It is producing because
it's like she saw a window. She's like, ooh, we can turn this into a whole storyline of like Garcelle accusing Erika of having a substance abuse problem.
Yeah, that's exactly what she was doing. Instead of it being what Garcelle is like, I'm actually starting to get concerned. Like I wasn't judging, like, well, she was, but like I didn't care to like tell you anything about what you wanted to do with mixing until it started to directly affect me, and now it has. So like if you're going to continue to do that, we got to figure something different out, because like now it's starting to become inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. Like if
That's
it was
all I'm saying.
And I think another reason why people are like, it's so funny, like Rinna and Kyle, man, you guys know how to like take heat off of people, because and put it on yourself. Because as much as I was like appalled by what Erika did, the amount of I almost felt more appalled by Kyle this episode than Erika, and I don't even know how that's possible.
I know.
I don't even know how it's possible. And it's because at some point Erika took some accountability, whether it took her being told many times, but she somewhat took accountability and didn't make Garcelle have to, but she made Garcelle have to bring it up, but she didn't fight her on it, and I was like, that's the best I can like ask for it. I mean, that's what we're going to
exactly,
and it's just so disappointing that Kyle, what makes me angry is that Kyle is making Garcelle fight for her apology when Erika is more than happy to give it to her. And was happy to listen and was happy to explain to her what her process is with her pills. She wasn't even getting defensive. She's like, well,
exactly.
She was very willing to have that conversation. Usually Erika would be explosive, but in this moment, she was actually being receptive to talking back and forth with Garcelle, and Kyle interrupted it. Exactly. Erika did not need saving. She did not need defending. Erika is indefensible for so many reasons. And Erika was doing a fine job at talking and defending her own self. So there was no need for Kyle Richards again to sit in on, they were all invited to sit in this time, but to comment on this or be her public defender. Like, I don't know, Erika.
Again,
tell your friend to be quiet.
What you should have been appalled with
is Erika.
It's Erika.
I know. And that's the sad part, is like, I couldn't, like, Kyle completely overshadowed. And as I told you, this is a callback from the first episode of the Beverly Hills Recap Pod this season. Kyle loves to steal the spotlight. When Dorit I think it was when Dorit's talking about the robbery, her emoting, it's just like she is unable to sit in silence without doing all these expressions, without, like, she is always she's always indicating. It's an acting term, which means she is overtelling us with her face, hand gesturing, instead of just being grounded and being present. And that sometimes is being still. Okay. She hasn't not mastered that. That's why she will never be in anything more than a Hallmark movie. Well, I guess
Halloween.
And Halloween. She was born into that, so that's fine.
Pia, you are such a trooper. This is officially our longest episode, the two of us, but it was worthy, guys. I'm sure no one complains about long episodes. In fact, I've had people tell me I wish they were longer. I'm like,
I mean, I personally, like, whenever I'm listening to podcasts, I always get really excited when I see a long episode, because I tend to listen to podcasts in the car or on walks. Yeah. So, and my car rides are usually longer. We live in LA. I take my dog on long walks because he is high energy. So I need a podcast to, like, get me from point A to point B. So I always get excited, like, when I finish my task and the podcast is not done, which means, like,
ooh, you get another like drive.
Yeah, like, to be continued.
Yeah.
I love it. It's fun for me, but, like, I mean, not everybody likes that, so I get that as well. I think as long as it's like you're filling up the time like entertainingly, or it's like, you know what I mean by that.
As long as it's not like the fluff filler 4-part Beverly Hills reunion of last season.
Right. Yeah. Like you're actually jamming in it with like content, and like, I know we go on tangents and stuff, but like at least they're like going somewhere and it's a fun journey or something like that. It's like, I don't mind that too. Like, but you know, if you don't, like, okay, sorry.
Okay, sorry. Well, Pia,
they won't even hear my sorry, but they won't make it.
Poor Pia, though. Pia, you've been sick the whole time. Little cougher.
I'm sorry. Thing. And I also want to take time to apologize to everyone listening right now for all the coughing into your ears. Oh. I'm very sorry.
You've been a respectful cougher. You've turned your head from the microphone to cough. I mean, what else can we say? We've talked about this as much as we can. We'll talk about these scenes again, because once again, we will see these scenes since they released the preview. And I'm sure they'll release another preview. So, you know, I'm having an issue. I almost don't want to watch another preview, but I will watch another preview because I have to.
I just like, when is Kathy coming?
When is Yeah, we're on this will be episode 10. I mean, again, 22 episodes, guys. 22.
It just better be worth the 22 episodes is all I'm saying.
I have a feeling
I'm already ready for the fucking reunion there's so many things that have already happened.
I know.
I'm like gonna have to start actually, I'm gonna have to perfect. I'm gonna start taking notes and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I just have to listen to your podcast.
Our podcast. Oh. It's ours now, babe. Hate to tell you, you're a part of it. Okay, guys, love you all. Please like this video if you're watching on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you, guys. Oh my God, wait, I didn't thank anyone. Thank you for. I'm over 1,000 subscribers now. Boom. And thank you all who are listening on the pod. Love you guys. Please rate on the pod if you're listening on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. I need more 5-star ratings, please. And yeah, follow Piaget at PiagetV. I will link everything in the description and in the notes. And follow me at She Speaks Bravo. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.